Hello,
Hello.
everybody. It's been a Monday. I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, hi and good evening. We're here with old Go Saltmarsh campaign that we do on Mondays. I hope everybody's having a good evening so far tonight. I know we're starting a little late, but that's okay. We're still gonna play some Dern Dur and hopefully progress the story. Maybe not. Players don't like to do things, so be like that sometimes. We'll see. But yeah. Dur and Dur. Absolutely. You are muted if you're trying to talk to us, Cody. Julian.
I was speaking to others.
Ah, I see. Bitch. How dare you
I see you're
communicate?
feeling spicy
I
today, there,
I told you.
DM.
I told you it's been a Monday, okay?
You're
I have a lot
feeling
of
spicy.
pent up rage from talking to idiots on the phone all day. But
Now you're talking to three more, right? Here.
yep,
Oh,
y'all are
four more. My
dumb.
bad. Count. See,
I'm talking to 5 more idiots because I include myself, so that's fine. Anywho, real quick, to do some quick announcements. We are still doing our charity for fundraising. It's not the charity stream anymore, but we are still still trying to raise funds for Extra Life, which is for them kids both in basically continental North America, as far as I'm aware, both the United States and Canada. It goes towards children's hospitals and helping all those kids who need it. It's a great cause. We're about $1,300 into it. The goal is 3,500. We're going to try to keep this running until then. We also have a couple more things to give away when we hit our other milestones, which are a gaming mouse as well as a gaming keyboard near the end at $2,500 and $3,500 respectively. So donate it. It's a worthy cause. It's does a lot of good, and if you stick around and enter, you may win something fun. But other than that, I know I did remember. I know this is a little late, but I'm gonna continue on with it in this campaign as well because I think it's fun. Birthdays get birthday 20s. So Julian, you do have a birthday 20 to use whenever you would like up until the same time next year at your birthday again. They do not carry over. You can't get more than one. So use it or lose it. And on that note, also Christopher, whose birthday was last Tuesday, the day after, you also have a birthday 20. And also, happy belated birthday on stream. Yay. He's older now. We're closing in on the wrong side of 20, 25, whatever. Getting to like the latter half.
The wrong side of.
What do DMs get for their birthdays, Jones? What did we get?
I don't know. Y'all didn't get me shit. You don't get
free
shit.
free player death. We get a nat 1 to dispense
We
as
get
we
a
see
free
fit.
player death. Oh,
Free
awesome.
TPK.
All right. Yeah. No. Me and you agree on it. Free player death for DMs.
All right, bet.
Bet.
All right, give it a few months. I will have one in the bank. Let's go.
Before they
All
just
right.
kill each other.
Oh my goodness. How is fucking he kills me? I kill him. Done. All right, sweet.
It's like you just pull out the finger gun.
Trust nobody, not even your other DMs. But anywho, I believe that's all we've got for this evening. So I think we'll just hop right into it with a quick recap of what happened last episode. So last week, our brave adventurers were still at sea, discovering the fallout of their recent confrontation with Farenzal the Butcher and his crew, which included a powerful sorceress that they know as Kithora, leaving the ship with almost 2/3 of their crew decimated and heavy damage to the ship itself, both of which slowed their pace greatly over the course of their journey home, or I say home, but back to Saltmarsh. They were able to perform some repairs. There was a lot of thinking going on. A couple of insightful conversations were had, one of which was between Gloob and the captain of the ship itself, as well as Julian had a nighttime dip in the ocean to have not quite the conversation he expected with his patron, who kind of informed him, you get more power when you start succeeding in the hunt. So kind of told him to get good, and they would see. They had a pretty safe journey with the sighting of oh god damn it, is a bronze dragon. I keep wanting to say brass, but a bronze dragon in the distance, and a brief scuffle with some giant octopi that ended without incident before, after a little over a week back at sea, returning to Saltmarsh and noting that it was in wartime, as there were tents that appeared to have soldiers and smoke that were set up outside the walls of Saltmarsh, as well as some of their seafaring allies that came out to check who they were and what their business was, as well as noting that they were present at the docks. They made landfall, said their goodbyes to the crew of the Soul of Winter, and then debated for a good bit on what to do with their box of money. Going to see Captain Zendros, saw what she had back in stock, and ended up leaving the chest with her before going to talk to the merchant, old Albrecht Drowlian, discovering that Anders Solmore, the member of the Saltmarsh Council, was there, and having a bit of a talk with the both of them, eventually coming to a fairly satisfying, if disappointing, conclusion that he had not been the one to sick the pirates on them, and that the Sea Princes were a little bit more dangerous than they already knew, as they were informed that they probably had eyes and ears within Saltmarsh itself. Also discovering that Anders Solmore has a deep-seated hatred of the Sea Princes, as they were the ones who facilitated his parents' deaths some time ago. So getting an advance payment of their 10,000 gold pieces from Anders himself in exchange for information about the Sea Princes that they ran into. They collected, asked some questions of their own before running off and purchasing a very expensive but hopefully useful ring for their friend Jakob. This ring was said to have the power to allow him to interact and speak with his dead daughter, who he has been seeing and talking to nothing, as far as everybody else can tell, for most of this campaign. I believe y'all ended up, after that purchase, wanting to go get something to eat and rest at a nearby tavern. I imagine y'all would go by to the Snapping Line. And I think that's where we will pick up this evening. What are you boys doing?
Well, if we are gonna get some lunch before before we go back out shopping and what have you, it's about lunchtime, right?
Yeah, thereabouts.
Midday or so.
Yes, sir.
While we're getting our meals from Hannah, sitting down and sort of in the middle of the meal, Gloob's gonna speak up after being quiet for most of the meal. We haven't talked about what happened on the ship yet. And I think it's best if we do.
No, right?
We got a lot of innocent people killed. A lot.
Yeah, that we did.
And we almost died in the process.
We did.
The second part aside, because we signed up for it, but they didn't. They signed up to be sailors. They didn't sign up to deal with our baggage too. And they certainly didn't agree to die because we can't keep our mouths shut. And I feel like that's exactly what happened.
Okay, you are phasing out of existence back there, buddy.
Julian's like, I don't want any part of this conversation.
Like the meme.
He's over there. Oh, he can't see me. Sorry. Continue.
Smoke ball.
There's several of us to blame, I think.
Right. They threw a spell at Julian. They were holding, paralyzing him, trying to. And I know that spell. I've used them myself. And it's a pretty hefty spell, and it's not really one that one that lasts too long. It's something that if you're going to use it, is to take action soon. And the next thing that came out of his mouth was what essentially amounted to trying to get the captain to turn Julian over. And yeah, I made in hindsight, a really dumb decision. I thought that if we get in there and we take the captain out real quick, that we might be able to turn the situation around, or at least hurt him enough till he'd leave. And then he just vanished and appeared right next to all of us, and them archers weren't worth shit. I hate it. It's eating me up. I'm just gonna pause for a second and then take a big old swig of mead. Just stay silent.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, it seemed like they were dead set on taking Julian, and I know myself, at least myself, I was not going to let that happen. He's my friend. He's asked me at the very least to help him on his pursuit of this man he's pursuing.
Right.
And
I understand that. I do. I get it. But we didn't give him 2 sentences.
you are correct.
Between Julian yelling at him and him, the spell was cast and then we fired. That's it. I was trying to get a point across and we didn't even try to offer up anything else. The only thing we offered was death. And we got the worst end of that deal.
Yep.
To be fair, from what I've heard of these people, they don't tend to negotiate. They take what they want. They leave blood and ruin. And I get what you're saying, Gloob. I do. If there was a way to talk out of that, we threw it. We threw it overboard, and we didn't even take the chance for a peaceful resolution. And those men did die because we were too quick. I personally think that is on all of us, not one person. I
agree with you. I agree with you, except for I think it's on me, Bart, and Julian. And I think you had No. He's going to be himself, regardless. We didn't even try. Again, we signed up for this. At the end of the day, we could have offered all of us up and then figured it out after the fact.
At the end of the day, you didn't sail a ship full of armed men with violent intent and a reputation of violence and slavery.
Right. But I played it over in my head 1,000 times, and I came to the same conclusion, Blue. It would have been the smart thing for all 4 of us to just go with them. We could have figured out something once they made landfall somewhere. They sell people into slavery. They wouldn't have just outright killed us, and 19 more people would have still been breathing.
I agree. I agree that there was any chance of a peaceful resolution was thrown out, but he was very keen on the point that that doctor, whoever he is, that made Julian, didn't like the fact that his creation was out there, and it didn't sound like he was bringing him back to keep him in a cage. It sounded like he was bringing him back to die. So we would have been off. Oh, sorry.
No, that's my fault for interrupting you, Jakob. You don't spend time and money on something like that, as fucked up as it is. No offense, Julian. But you don't spend time and money on something like that just to fucking kill it. It's not what you do.
Oh, he killed plenty more besides.
Intentionally? Or trying to get to something like you?
Before they ever left the lab. He got rid of me once before, Gloob.
Whether implicitly or not, I agreed to help you chase this guy down when me and Bart first sat down at this tavern, at this table, when we sat down beside you and you asked us that guy's name. It was implicit agreement as soon as you told us that I'd help you out, that we would be your tribe. Those dwarves didn't sign up for that. That's what I'm saying. We could have figured something else after the fact. It may not have worked out good for us. Hell, we're getting pretty good at this. And getting better. We've taken out a ship of men before. But I think blatant disregard for the lives around us is just not the way to go.
Their lives are precious. But I refuse to feel guilt for lives taken by corsairs and raiders. There were other avenues, yes. Maybe we could have handled it better. No maybe. Just yes. But at the end of the day, we didn't draw blade against those dwarves. It's tragic. We need to do better in the future. But we don't need to feel guilt as if we killed them ourselves.
That's where I disagree with you. I think there's a tremendous amount of guilt to be had.
Right, Kent.
I don't think that Gloob's wrong.
I agree.
Their lives and blood that's on our hands, and I agree. I'm not too happy on the way things ended. They didn't. He's right. They didn't sign up to be mercenaries or have their life on the line besides sailing and bringing us to that ship. They died honorably, but they didn't have to die.
Ultimately, Julian, the reason I say that this blame is between you, me, and Bart, excuse me, I've been hanging around Bart too much. The southern accent is getting to me. The reason I say that it's between you, me, and Bart is because your anger got the best of you. You kept yelling back at him and you wouldn't hear him out. Bart called for the order to shoot, and I shot first. After that, everything was to the wayside. Those three things is what got them killed. Now, all I want from this conversation, and I've thought about it over and over again after talking to Captain, but I want us to admit the fuck up and think before going into these other things. Offer ourselves up next time if that's what we got to do. Get ourselves out of this situation. We're pretty good at getting ourselves out of shit situations. But whatever happened that day doesn't need to happen again. And if it keeps happening, I can't be here.
I agree. I don't want anything like that to happen again.
I agree we need to do better. But we were offered violence, whether direct or implied. Our actions were under duress that we did not bring to bear.
Right.
That's
We're just saying there could have been a better option, and we didn't take it. Those options were there to take. Choice was ours, and that choice caused people to die. They didn't need to, in particular. Not saying that it's all just our blame. It was a bad situation, but we could have got out of it better if we'd have made better choices.
And I mean, there's the difference of violence that's happening to us, because I mean, Gloob's right. We chose his life. It's violence that happens to us versus violence that happens to people around us, and I agree with Gloob. The people around us don't always choose. They're not like Ned. They're not like Oceanus. They don't choose to come along with us to fight. They chose to transport us there. So.
At the end of the day, Julian, all of us accepted your luggage. It's what we do. What tribe mates do. Those guys didn't accept your luggage because you stepped on their ship. You raised your voice. You talked over them. You yelled at them. You getting angry. And you have to keep that in check if we're going to talk out of situations. But I will not stand idly by next time if you endanger our lives or anyone else's.
Very well.
Now that that's off my chest, let's go spend some gold.
You're muted, Kent.
Dupe. Yeah, I agree with Glue. And that goes the same for any of us. Yakko, myself, and I'm sure Glue needs to take that type of accusation on his shoulders as well. All of us got to be more mindful. It's not really something that you can get second chances at. It's a pretty terrible thing.
I'm gonna put my hand on Gloob's shoulder, knowing that I'm gonna have to take a con save. It's fine.
All right, as long as he's wearing his pauldrons, you're good.
But
you're
I'm
not- no
gonna
skin to
look
skin.
him in the eye and say, "Thank you, Gloob, for telling us that." I
Well,
think it's important we talk about these things.
ultimately, I don't have a tribe to go back to, so I'm having to work with the three of you.
Well, you're stuck with us now.
So I would like to remain. We're not a very big tribe, right? So numbers are important, especially when 50% of your party is tiny compared to the rest of the world. So we're going to need all of us alive, especially if we keep getting ourselves into the situations we've been getting into.
Agreed.
Have some regard for each other. That's all we can do.
Yep.
That's my piece.
Before we leave, I want to give Hannah or whoever is behind the bar 2 gold to cover both a little bit longer of stabling.
It's more than a little bit, so yeah. That's
And
significant amounts of time.
No, we
And-
set them up for a month before we left.
Y'all already gave them quite a bit, and y'all have been gone for just under 2 weeks at this point, so you're about halfway through what you'd given them previously.
I'm just gonna give next month's just in case something
Okay.
comes up and we're away for a significant time. And I'm also gonna pay for the food and drinks that we
That's
have.
like a handful of silver. So like 5 silver for food and drinks across the board.
Okay. And I'm gonna try to do it without being noticed by anybody in the party.
Okay.
Oh, I
What's
forgot
that?
that's-
What's that stealth check?
Yeah, I was about to
buddy?
say, what's the stealth check? I feel like it might be beaten by passive perception alone.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is because of disadvantage. Otherwise, it would not have been.
I honestly, this isn't something. I mean, actually, yeah, because like you'd be trying to not be clanky. So I was about to say it's not necessarily as much sound related, but you clanking in that direction would still draw their attention. So still at disadvantage.
13.
I'm pretty sure that's beaten by almost everybody's passive perception.
18 here.
Yeah, definitely beaten by
Right.
yours.
Why are you walking like that, Jakob?
Just gonna go pay for my stabling.
Yeah, but you're like you're acting like you're sneaking, or like, are you trying to get? I can teach you how to get better, but that's not working for you.
You know, I wouldn't. That's probably a good idea.
All right, yeah. First things first. Stop picking your legs up so high in heavy fucking armor. That's not helping you out at all.
All
Maybe
right.
we could get some oil or something.
Yeah, I mean, that heavy armor isn't helping him very much just by itself.
I
I
wonder
mean,
if
look
he'd
at
be,
all these dents. Doing something.
This is fair. This is fair.
I'm pretty sure they don't make armor thicker than Jakob said anyway, so he should be fine.
Not wrong.
We've come a long way since Barwinch.
How loud you saying that there, Gloob?
Do what?
So how loud you saying that there, Gloob?
Not very loud.
Natural 20 on her perception check.
Ah, shit! I should have used my birthday
No.
24.
It's actually I will go ahead and say I didn't tell you this when you guys first get in there. A lot more crowded than normal.
Yeah, I would assume.
A lot more people in and out of town right now.
Don't know about all this.
It should be good for the town. I mean, maybe after all this war blows over, if Saltmarsh ain't invaded and overrun by Swahagan, I mean, might be a fair amount of folk that stay around, pop out a kid or two, build some houses. I don't know, it could be really good.
Someone may have rented the bathroom. I get up and run over to the bar and try to get Hannah's attention.
Julian sits
Oh
while
yes.
complaining about
Oh,
Ladies'
you're
House.
back.
Yeah, has anybody got
Hi.
the bathroom for tonight?
Oh no.
Perfect. I'll pull out. What's the room rate again? Two silver.
If I believe it was a silver. Like
So
a
I'll pull
silver
out-
and a half or something for a night, so just we'll round. Easy math silver. Y'all got more money now anyway.
I'll pull out the necessary money and make sure I have the bathroom for tonight.
Her face
Sure.
Before she purses her lips and she's
All-
like, well, now it's the gold. We busy
All
as hell.
all yours. It's all yours. It's all yours. Just remember like we said last time. Can't be going in too early, can't be staying in there too late in the morning.
Not a problem.
If we stay here long enough, they're gonna make like an outhouse just for Gloob, have a Gloob house.
I got in there just in time. No one rented out the bathroom. So, what do y'all want to do?
We got
Kill
some-
pirates.
Oh man, Julian's not as gravelly as he usually is tonight.
Kill pirates. I can
Yeah,
do
that
your
right
voice
there.
today.
All right.
No, I'm not
Aye, aye.
actually gonna do it. That shit hurts my throat.
Eh, oh, Hannah.
Yes.
Are there any new merchants or tradesmen in the town?
There've been a few that have been in and out, but that none of them have stayed for very long after they've gotten a general idea of why more people are here and seen that the threat is legitimate.
All right. Thank you.
Wait. Explain the
And what-
last part. What do you mean seeing the threat is legitimate?
Well, seeing the wounded and the dead coming back.
Have there been more Swahagan attacks where we were going?
I mean, yes. I don't know where, but the Captain Firebrand has sent troops out to I only can assume the direction of the Hull Marshes, and some have come back, some have only come back being carried, and Some haven't come back at all.
Uh-huh.
You would have to ask the captain himself. I don't know the
Right,
details
right.
outside of what I've seen.
I understand. I'm sure they have their reasons to send those troops there.
I don't know.
Big confused.
It
I just
it hasn't been that long. It was probably a little after a week after you left. So
okay.
about 4 or 5 days ago, that the conflict started happening.
Any other happenings are going on around town that we missed?
Um, I not that I can think of really. There's a bunch of fish people at the pier and the docks, which is kind
Yeah,
of weird, but apparently they're helpful.
they seem like all right folk.
There's the yeah, I don't know not much else. The influx of soldiers and mercenaries, and that's about it. It's been good for business, but a little chaotic.
All
You
right.
know, starting fights and whatnot. Sailors are wary to go out and fish right now. Few got, I think a ship got attacked, and most of the others are a lot more afraid to go out at all. And she kind of
Right.
gestures around, and there are a lot of the patrons are currently just sailors during a time in which they would normally be out on their boats.
All right.
Well, I think we should probably hurry to Captain Zindros. I know she had at least one thing that I was interested in from what she told us about.
All right. Before we do that, hey, Bart, real quick, and I'll
Yeah.
kind of like I can Bart off to a corner away from everybody. Okay. I need you to. I think we should ask Hannah to keep an eye out for people dealing with the people chasing Julian. Julian said that they had eyes everywhere. My issue here is here. I don't. People are king. I'm yeah. I'm not good at reading people. Plain and simple. I've tried it, and I don't trust any of them. That's the thing. So I don't know if I can trust Hannah, but if we can ask her to keep an eye out. I mean, everybody comes in here, right?
Right. I mean, I see what you're saying. I wouldn't begin to know how she could figure out who's who with that. I mean, maybe just suspicious looking folk. But we also have to keep in mind what we were just talking about. If Hannah starts feeding us that type of information, people might find out about it.
Right, but no, just not asking questions. I don't want her to active, but the passive listening she does already. I don't know.
I don't. I don't pretend to know much about the flow of knowledge between peers and pirates and docks and towns and all that. I just assume that they got some friends in town that listen to rumors and I guess write letters, send birds, use magic. I don't know.
Right. All right, just a thought.
Right. I mean, I guess it wouldn't hurt to ask. Yeah, I mean, if she hears something, we can just let her know that we might be willing to pay for some information if she had something like that.
Okay.
Something non-committal, deniability.
All right. Dungeon Master, how close
sir.
is the like the back door or the door into the kitchen? Like,
I mean, it's like just off the like you have the whole bar area, and then like it's little swinging doors of the bar, and then almost right next to it's like you come out from the bar and then to the door to the kitchen.
all right. Guys, I'll turn to Jakob and Julian. I'd be right back. Bart, follow me real quick. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna just walk into the kitchen, and like as I do, I'm just saying, "Hey, Hannah, can you come here real quick?" And I'm just gonna keep walking into the kitchen. Hopefully, she just follows me out of like being startled.
I just give her a and
She-
just walk back there.
She's in the midst of
take it.
serving customers. Roll a persuasion check.
Oh yes, this will go well.
Oh come on, I'm sure that will totally give advantage. Like, oh,
With
Farpy, what are you gonna do?
I'm debating disadvantage. Honestly.
Well, it's not good.
Wait, can I give advantage by saying you might want to go back there? You might.
He
Spit
walked
the
off
food.
from you guys, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no on that one.
Oh, I meant to say that to Hannah.
Right, but like y'all were kind of standing away from it, and then he made a beeline, just trying to grab her real fast. She does not follow you back. She's in the midst of like, what do you need? Like calling after you as she's continuing to serve customers. I'm a little bit. I like there's a cook back there if you need food.
Good
Cook
money
is
in it
back
for
there
you.
if you're wanting to put in a special order.
As soon as Bart says that, Glue will stick out like just a handful with like 5 gold in it or something like that, just out of the door. She just sees a purple frog hand push the door back open with gold in it.
Come hither.
Now do I get advantage?
She's not actively looking at the door. She just kind of called over her shoulder and went back to serving drinks.
Jingle, jingle.
Nothing.
I will, with a sigh, use minor illusion to make the smell of burning waft from the kitchen to her, kind of.
I believe it only goes a 5-foot square.
But it is a cantrip.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm going to step out here, Hannah, and just hold out the gold. Please.
Okay.
What?
Just,
What?
come here. A moment of your time, and I'm paying you for it. You'll be all right.
She
These
just,
guys will be all right. They don't need anything.
she just yells off to like one of the bouncers, like, "Come here, just pour these," and just like points at like one spigot. He's like, "That's all they can afford anyway," and just like, "What?" Follows you back into the kitchen. What is it?
I'll palm her 5 gold immediately. As I remove that from my character sheet. And
She's
I'll say,
looking at you weird, like, "What is
yeah,
this for?"
I'm weird. I've been weird. Stop acting like this is
No,
different.
no, this is weird. People don't just give people 5 gold.
I'm not.
For no
Here comes
reason.
Here comes the request after
Uh-huh.
the fact. You ready, Bart? All right.
Is
Do you know
Bart in
anything
there
about-
with you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like,
Oh, yeah. But I got.
Okay,
I told Bart to
okay.
follow me.
gotcha.
So, all right, Bart, get ready. Do you know anything about the Sea Princess?
Anything? I mean, not much more than anybody else knows about them. They've plundered and raided the coasts
I look
For
back to Bart immediately.
quite a long time. Not as much since the king and the crown and his forces stopped advancing north. The armies came back. That's why we have Captain Firebrand and the troops in Seaton, and there's still some problems with them, but not like it used to be.
Well,
Do I believe her?
Are you rolling an insight check?
Will you let me roll an insight check?
Sure.
9.
9. I mean, seems about as wet, like as best you can read humans. Seems to be telling the
This is
truth.
exactly what I'm talking about, Bart. They're all lying.
What?
let me roll an insight check real quick. That's a dirty 20.
She is definitely telling the truth.
Right. Well, we had an unfortunate run-in with some recently, and
What?
it's a very long story, but they were given information from Saltmarsh about us, and well, I was just wanting to maybe if there was any goings on about town for knowledge of them or people working with them, or if you overheard something, just let us know.
I mean, I can keep my ear out, but
That's all we're asking.
I don't know
Not
what
trying to
good
get you
you're
in any
gonna
trouble
get.
or anything. You be careful.
I understand, but I don't think I'm gonna get much for you. Anybody who's working with the Sea Princes, they're not gonna be talking about it.
Right.
People hate them here.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And
Right.
anywhere
some
on the
people are-
coast.
Some people are dumb. You can't underestimate dumb.
That's very true. And
I mean, if
we're not-
if they're
we're not
dumb enough to
saying-
let me here, I doubt they'll make it far.
well, that's fair. But in the slim chance that you do,
Sure. I will keep my ear out.
I appreciate it so much.
Happy to help. Especially for 5 gold pieces. Slowly pocket like goes into one like her apron pockets. So
I'll yeah, that was just kind of like hold on a second.
yes.
Just kind of like go over
I-
to the cook real quick and like, no, you gotta you. So it's about surface area. You gotta keep rotating.
Dude just turns
flipping
on
it like that.
Get out of my kitchen! Smack! Just like right across the head. Like ladle on the noggin. Like, what? Who are you? Hannah! Get customers out of my kitchen! Yes, calm down. He's very touchy about his kitchen.
I understand. Hey, you're a lucky fella that you're the only damn place.
Turns around and starts yelling at like some like cook boy he has as his little assistant. Like, boy, get over there! Out of the oven! Like, just yelling at Hannah just kind of shuffles you out there.
Is the bearskin rug up anywhere
Oh
That
yeah,
that we gave Hannah?
it's at her house. She's like,
She
"Hell yeah."
lives here.
It's in her room.
Roll a perception check for me.
We see a freshly made painting of her on the bearskin rug.
Oh dear God.
It's natural 18 plus 4 because of level
4.
5, so 22.
You spot it spread out in front of the fire on one end of the
Hell
room,
yeah,
just kind
brother.
of spread out in front of it as like so it's nice and displayed. No like tables or anything are sitting on top of it. So you get a few admiring glances from people sitting around the room, like, oh wow, it's a nice rug. Impressive. Wonder who killed that thing. I don't know.
Fucking sailor's gonna walk out of here with it one day. He's gonna get drunk and take the fucking carpet.
We'll remind you,
Alright.
she has
And
large
bearskin rugs,
bouncers.
heavy AF.
But, yeah.
Alright. Zindros?
Also, I'm just gonna go ahead and say with an 18 plus, what do you say, plus 4 perception?
Plus 4, yeah.
Plus 4?
22.
22? Y'all, like, since y'all have been in, like, not since y'all have been in here, but as you're looking around, you notice, like, you guys are getting, like, some looks and whispers. None, like, aggressive or anything, but more just kind of, like, noting, like, oh. Like, you hear, like, maybe a little bit of, like, oh, you know, those are the guys that, you know, they went off and they're the ones who talked to the lizard folk in the first place. And, like, a little bit of goings on just back and forth. Like, they've been gone for almost 2 weeks. Blah, blah, blah,
Insight
blah.
check.
On who?
It's true. It's us.
Yeah, like, what are you rolling?
Are-
A, at who, and for what?
Are these malicious whisperers? Are they
No,
talking
they're
shit
not.
about
They're
us?
clearly not malicious. It's just noting.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
this is like, y'all, this is being recognized, and not necessarily because you're a frog. Like, this isn't people going, there's a big ass frog here. It's specifically like, hey, those dudes have been doing shit recently. So commenting on you guys as a group, not as individuals.
With recent events, Julian isn't so much a fan of being recognized and noted by people
You
around.
are
So he's probably like got his little scarf thing. He's like,
You're very hard to not recognize, Julian. I hate to say it, buddy.
he is jarringly aware of that fact right about now.
You stick out a smidgen. But yeah. What are you boys doing now? I just realized we haven't had music on this entire time. I am so sorry.
Kazindros, away!
I feel really bad.
Well, something we could. Does it seem? You said it seems apparent to everyone that there are people whispering about us.
Well, I'll say, I mean, if any of you, with as high as your passive perception is, I'd say probably anybody with over like a 15. Because it's like, you still have to like notice.
Right. Okay.
So, but yeah, it's not hard. It's definitely a, huh. That's new.
They're talking shit.
They're
I
not
just
talking
know it.
shit. They're just they heard stories about us, I reckon, or they at least know that we're the ones who got all this stuff kind of kickstarted. I guess I don't know.
I don't trust it.
Julian
Well-
nods agreeably at Gloob. Like, yeah, fuck that.
I had up until our last journey a little bit of fame sounding like it would have been pretty nice, but now I'm not thinking so much. I'd say we'd give you all a makeover, but I don't think that's gonna help Gloob too much. I mean, I can shave and get a different hat, but I don't think makeovers work really well with frog people. No offense.
I've tried. It doesn't. Well,
Yep.
All right.
is Andros then?
Yep.
Let's go say hello again for like the third time today, right?
It's been a while.
Just
Also,
staring off in the distance, trying to imagine Gloob with a wig.
I don't want
I'm
to.
sure she likes us. We're profitable.
Yeah, you can say that.
Out of curiosity, Jacob, have you spent this time attuning to your ring?
I did not know that was an active process.
It is an
rules-wise,
active process.
but
It
I
takes
mean,
a short rest, and I would say a lunch is a leisurely enough time period to
We
attune
had that
to
long
it.
lunch.
Yeah, I would probably be fiddling with it, trying to.
And you don't have to fiddle with it. You just kind of have to have it on your person and be
Yes, I do.
like, I am attuning to this thing.
It is on my hand.
So I'll
I
say
am actively going.
probably at around the time that you guys exit, like after you guys kind of notice, and it may have been a little bit before, you're not sure, but you're kind of just walking along, and you can usually see your daughter like out of the corner of your eye, and she's, as I said previously, kind of a hazy version. Can't really make out any details, and it's enough to know that it's her, and that's about it. But now, as you notice, as y'all like go outside, away from the crowds and away from all the noise and stuff, that she stands out in sharp relief. All the colors are
Okay.
there. Like you can see her eyes, her nose, her mouth. You can make out all the details, including the clothes she was wearing the day she died, and the blood stains of the wounds that killed her. And just a perpetual apathetic visage that she bears that is just almost no expression whatsoever. She just floats off to your side.
I am going to stop and just start sobbing. And just fall to my knees.
What happened?
You alright, Jacob? I was just gonna like look around him for like.
I think Gloob probably just instinctively pulls his rapier out and starts looking around.
Yeah, I'm looking for some type of literal wound on him.
It's
Julian is probably like very, very awkwardly trying to comfort him. Like,
It's okay.
What's okay?
Um,
What's it?
it's
I don't
my,
know. He's
my
being
daughter,
like
she's-
really sad.
She's right there, and I can see her. Like, she's right there.
I don't see anything.
I mean, haven't-
The ring.
It's just
Haven't you been seeing her anyways?
No, it's
But never like this. Never. She looks the same as she did that day.
Well,
you
hug
don't
her.
have to wear the ring all the time. Like Take a break, man.
You just started wearing it.
I'm gonna, as Gloob says that, I'm gonna like look up, like
She's
it connects, and
she's
I'm gonna
turned and like you can see she is like looking at you.
and I'm gonna try to hug my daughter.
Okay. You stand up and you reach your arms out and
Guidance?
there's
I
no
don't like-
there's no check needed, but if you'd like.
I don't.
And
Yes.
kind of at the same time as your arms close and your chest would meet hers, you feel the faintest bit of resistance before they start to pass through like they would air. Like it's almost like there was something there, but just not quite.
Oh,
And you just hear a
This is
very
insane.
tiny inhale as you do so.
it's me, son. I love you.
Papa?
It's me. I miss you so much. I'm so glad that I can hug you again.
You just hear, like she starts to hyperventilate.
It's
Like,
okay.
very,
It's,
like-
it's okay.
You haven't been able to hear me. And just you start to like hear crying.
It's okay, sweetheart. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything.
You just as you just keep hearing crying and you just feel that same really faint resistance kind of not in very many places because you're wearing full plate armor, but you like feel very faint, like she's trying to hug you back as best she can.
I'm here. I'm not ever gonna go away.
I'll see Jakob sitting there hugging air.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna let a homie hug his daughter for the first time. Like, I'm not gonna stop him or anything.
Yeah. I just letting y'all know.
Julian's
Just
pretty much
dead.
just like
Yeah,
hand on his
silence.
back, but kind of standing off.
y'all are
Yeah.
getting some like weird looks in the street at this point
Oh,
as
as
people
soon
are
as
walking
someone
around.
looks
They're
at
just
the
kind of
Street,
like,
I fucking
Yeah,
threaten.
fuck those guys.
No.
Nat 20,
Like, I-
Nat 20 intimidation check for passersby.
yeah, you do your weird shark growl thing, and people quickly walk up, but they're definitely like, "What the fuck's going on there?" Woo!
I always get the Nat 20s when it's not near.
Hey, but yeah, mostly it was to the grown man who's like 6 feet tall
Yeah.
in full plate, just breaking down in the middle of the street. But you're sitting there, and right now she's just crying.
Yeah, straight up heckling people if they let their gazes linger too long. If you got
Sure.
places to be, yep, keep walking.
Let's see.
Fortunately for you guys, his nat 20 kind of like makes up for the fact that you and Gloob aren't very physically intimidating
Right.
size wise.
I rolled my intimidation check too. It was a 3. So,
Oh my god. Very much balanced
We're
out
both
by the
just
natural
there.
20 by the shark man. People like look at the halfling who's like, "What are you looking at?" And they're like, and then they see the frog who's menacing them with a rapier or something, just trying to look intimidating. And then they see Julian and they go, "Oh shit," and keep walking. It's like
tell
ding
me that
ding
Gloob
ding.
doesn't
Oh.
see me, like, please tell me Gloob doesn't see me growling and he thinks everyone's like,
Roll a
shying
perception
away.
check.
please, dear God, fail that perception check.
13.
You like hear something. You're not like paying much attention, but you hear him doing something, but you're not certain what's going on. You're like,
Yeah,
"Man,
It's
fuck these
obviously you,
guys."
Gloob. It's all you.
If people are probably averting their gaze, I'll probably just kind of like mumble a little prayer to myself at the situation.
I rolled a 16 on perception to see if I heard them heckling, because obviously I'm going to be paying. the
Roll at
majority-
disadvantage.
Yeah, okay.
You're a bit preoccupied.
Jakob has become like the precious cinnamon bun of the party, and now he must be protected.
He's the precious cinnamon bun who chops people in half with a sword.
Not
right
right
now
now.
he's hugging his daughter, alright?
Currently Cinnabon. Every other time, Death Machine. Current.
That kind of makes me think
Yes,
of
yes.
Grog whenever he's being like, "Pike."
He has
Exactly.
You're
two
like,
settings.
"Oh!"
He has
My heart.
precious cinnamon roll and hellblender. There is no in between.
Hellbender.
So that 16
God.
has gone down to a 4.
You do not notice. You are
Alright.
you are currently very preoccupied.
I will threaten people until Jakob says he is done.
Okay.
Women are super fantastic.
I mean, until my daughter
Well,
stops
well,
crying.
I mean, she cries for a while. She probably like after a few minutes. I'm sitting there, it kind of goes down to just sniffling, but she's kind of like she was your daughter. Like, get this, she's kind of in the state of overwhelmed. So
Well,
is kind of being very nonverbal.
Sweetheart, I'm sure you know who these men are, but they without them, I wouldn't have ever been able to hold you again. And I'm gonna hug her again just because I mean, I still can't believe it.
It's kind of awkward because she is floating at about like your same height. So she's not down at like she's very clear, like floating at your eye level. So it's
Yeah.
a little bit weird, but yeah.
And I'm gonna introduce the party to my daughter, and I'm gonna give if they let me hug him, I'm gonna hug him. I can't.
I'll
I can't
say
believe-
so. When you first go to introduce somebody, and you're kind of like given like the standard, like, you know, this my daughter sent this. This is like Bart, whoever you introduced first, and you're like, you know, just out of habit, like, you know, say hello, Sin. And whoever is first just hears a ghostly, like, in your head, just hello. And that is how you discover that you can use the message cantrip.
Well, we're starting with Gloob because he's the one that
Yeah.
reacted the hardest.
So, Gloob, you just heard a ghostly little girl tell you hello in your head.
Gloob has been confused at the very start. He has been empathetic to Jakob, thinking that he may just have lost his mind along the way, or he's a shaman, one of the two. And now he is 100% a shaman.
This is where Jakob starts the multi-class paladin.
What's your charisma, Jacob? It's gonna be
Did
a
you say
rough.
charisma?
Yeah, this will be a rough multi-class.
12.
Good thing you only use your spell slots for smites anyway.
Hi.
And back in your head, Jakob, you just like, and you can see that when you told her to say hello, she like floated over next to Gloob
Mm.
and floats back over, and he says hello.
Did you just hear that, Gloob?
You didn't hear the second half, but you did when she said hello in your head.
Oh shit. I I love y'all, and I know we just had a real good talk in there, but I swear to God, if one of y'all are fucking with me right now, I heard something.
Gloob is unblinkingly staring at Gloob right now. It's like,
Insight check.
Who are you insight checking?
Glue. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm running up to Gloob, putting my hands on his shoulder. Did you just hear that, Gloob? Bart, he just heard that.
Yeah.
All right, I
That's
think you have.
amazing.
Come here. I think you have to stand right here, and I'm just gonna push Bart where I was standing. Gloob doesn't know how this works. I'm gonna push
Yeah,
Bart.
no, you're good. This is logical.
All right. Say hello.
Hello.
Sid, this is Bart. Say hello. He's a nice man.
You watch as she floats over next to Bart, and Bart, you hear, "Hello." Ghostly little girl in your head.
You heard it. You fucking heard it too. You
Just,
fucking heard it too.
Just kind of like look sort of in the wrong direction. Like it's
Yeah, no
It's a-
particular direction, just in your head.
pleasure to meet you, young lady.
You tears as I mean, just you can hear my daughter. That's my daughter. That's Sin. That's my sweet little girl.
That's a ring worth its cost.
I can't thank you, all of you, enough. Just thank you. My
still
anything
just patting
you
you on the
need me
back
to do.
the whole time.
Clang, clang,
Anything.
clang, 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 clang.
All right, don't take us. Talk to her. Here, we'll go do something. Like we'll go. We'll meet at Zindros. Go talk.
All right.
Go sit on a bench or something.
Julian's not sure if she can hear him.
You know,
But he has a
you're
kid, so he'll kind of be like, "Talk to your father, sweetie. We'll leave y'all two alone."
Julian, you got to stand right here for it to work. Come here.
I was just kind of oh, it's just still sort of. All right.
All right, now say it.
I haven't introduced you to the man who, without him, I wouldn't have met any of y'all. This is Julian. I know his face can be a little scary, but he's a very nice man.
Nice to meet you, sweetie.
How old's
Say
your
hello.
daughter?
She
Was
5, but
That was
a
younger
very
than I
smart
thought.
5.
Whoops. I
I
just
think we're
remembered
about the
that.
same age. It's all good. Julian knows exactly how to handle this kind of situation.
She
Bart
wants
has
more.
no idea, so he's just like, young lady. Like,
Yeah.
could be 15 or 3 as far as he knows.
It I can't do it. It definitely sounded really young. Like I can't sound like that young of a child. But
Yeah.
once
He's
more
just
when you
kinda
tell
like,
her to say hello, just
Nice to
floats
meet
on
you,
over,
sweetie.
and you see as she
How
just
are
kind of
you doing?
leans forward and just cups her hands around her. Hello. And you hear just once again in your head.
Hello to you too.
She looks a bit concerned at you, Jakob, because you're still actively crying.
It's all right, sweetie. I'm just so happy to be able to hear you.
Okay. Are you sure?
Of course.
Okay. Okay. Still kind of confused by what's going on.
Lou will just kind of wordlessly tap on Julian and Bart's shoulder and just like backing up quietly, like let's go do something.
Julian will give Jakob a meaningful nod and then step away with the other two.
I will also return the meaningful nod.
Yeah. I will light a pipe as we walk away. Take a big drag from it once we're well out of earshot and say, boys, we got to clean up our act if there's going to be a little girl following us around.
She said she was 5.
Right.
Yo, I just about spat all over the place.
He's over here doing frog math for age.
If she's 5, she's fully grown. Weirdo.
Well, it's
I
a little
know,
bit.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
My son is 7 and far from adulthood.
Why haven't you been teaching him? What is wrong with you?
Well, I think humans, it's about, what, 15 till you start getting tall and all that?
I was 15 last year. I'm 16 right now.
What the
You're very
fuck?
mature for your age,
He
Cliff.
looks down and then like looks back over his shoulder when he realizes he was.
Yeah,
I've seen
that's
it.
the kind of stuff we got to cut out.
Yeah. Oh God. What about the whole violence part? That's no area for a lady.
You know, I was thinking about that, but I don't. Did any of y'all know how she passed? I mean, was it? I don't
I
know.
just found out he had a daughter like 3 days ago, so.
Right.
I think Julian was literally the last to find out.
He told me that she died, but that's it. I didn't want to go into detail or anything like that, so I have no idea.
Maybe we could. Oh hell. Well, we'll have to talk about it another time. But maybe he can tell her to go someplace to spare her from the gory details if something dramatic happens.
And I don't mean to be morbid, but how does all that work after she's already dead? Like, is she still like aging? Like up here? Or I don't know.
Hell, I
This
don't
is your
know. You
wheelhouse,
just gotta,
Rich man.
you gotta have faith in these kinds of things. I just thought he might have been a little bit loopy until a few minutes ago.
Oh man, this means I'm the only one in the party that isn't magic. Shit.
Hell, Glue, you're magic. You can kill things by them just touching you. That's its own kind of magic.
Magic? Everybody can do that. Well,
I most certainly cannot kill people by touching them.
That's all of us.
Magic frog, magic frog.
Well, I guess we need to kill some time for a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna go get some. I was gonna write some letters. So I need to get some parchment and ink and stuff like that. Do some other little shopping. Refill the supplies.
All right.
I'm smelling sausage on the wind all morning. Gotta find out where that's coming from.
Are there like armories and stuff serving all of the like an influx of blacksmiths and people providing weapons and armor to the surrounding
I don't know, dog. You'd have to go check.
soldiers?
That's an
May I
investigation
roll an
check,
investigation check?
which you just traded proficiency for.
Can't because perception is not on the warlock class list. So I did.
There you
not
go.
trade
Never
it.
mind, you didn't.
that head shake and then look. Oof.
Maybe these bonuses will save my ass. That's what that face is.
That is a modified 19.
Oh, what the fuck was the head shake?
I was looking down at my dice and then up at the screen on my character sheet.
I was about to say, I was like, that's really good. Like, that means without modifiers, you had like a 15.
16 plus 3.
16 plus 3.
I have 0 ability bonus. I only have proficiency
My
modifier.
man got the. You have a 10 intelligence.
Yeah.
At least it's not a -1.
Nah, he is violently average
Bow,
from the
bow,
intelligence.
bow.
standpoint.
Violently average.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, with a 19, if you go wandering the tents, which as you wander through them, it's a lot of soldiers, a lot of mercenaries, because you know you do, like you're from here, you're from this country. Like they're a good chunk of soldiers with like Keeland colors, and like wearing the colors on their uniforms and stuff. But there's definitely more mercenaries than there are
Julian has
soldiers.
mixed feelings about both things.
Right. Just definitely not a hard thing to notice. But with a 19 investigation, you do pretty quickly come across what appears to be a makeshift forge. I say makeshift. It's a mobile forge. It's a bigger tent, smaller anvil. See like what looks like more rough and tumble heating system, all that fun stuff. But yeah, in there you do see dude beating the shit out of what appears to be a length of metal that is probably kind of sword shaped right now.
So to summarize the shopping episodiness of this,
Sure.
Julian is shopping for 2 scimitars and a breastplate.
Breastplate.
Yes.
I will say 2 scimitars, easily enough for. Let me double check prices on them hoes.
Their base price is 25.
I've
gold.
already got it pulled out. Yeah, 25.
Damn, that was
Yeah, or easily. I've got the equipment page pulled up. I knew this was gonna happen.
fast.
Yeah, I'll say scimitars, like just plain, nothing fancy about them. Scimitars, you can find, like, especially considering you get the feeling with a 19 investigation, this isn't the only guy that has made his way here to, if not as a armorer for one of the mercenary companies or the army itself, somebody who realized they could make some money while they were here. But so yeah, 2 scimitars, base price of 25 gold a piece, so 50 gold for the pair. A half plate. Oh, not half plate. I'm sorry. Fucking, you said just a chest plate, right?
Breastplate.
Just
yeah.
a breastplate, right?
I ain't also trying to get that disadvantage on stuff, right?
Right. That's also fairly easy to find. Dude just kind of like, yeah, well, yeah, sure. Just kind of looks at you, kind of doubtfully, like, this isn't cheap. It's 400 gold pieces.
I will cough it up, and
He looks visibly surprised when you have that much money.
to trade in, are you using 50% trade-in value for used equipment? Or what's the rate?
It depends on what you got. Is it just random ass
Chainmail?
stuff?
A longsword.
Is this your chainmail longsword?
Yes.
The longsword, probably about 50%. Oh, good gracious.
Chainmail got some pock marks on it.
Yeah,
Some-
that's what I was gonna say. Because this is the medium armor. This is a chain shirt, not chainmail.
Yeah.
You're
You're right.
The best he's gonna offer you for looking at that when it has been corroded by magical acid and not been repaired and has been punctured by arrows. There's holes in it. He's like, I'll give you 10 gold for it.
Works.
Is definitely looking at it like with the eye of somebody who's going to take it apart.
That's fine.
For scrap. All right. So you'll subtract those. So 440 gold is how that comes down to, plus half of whatever a longsword is, which I think is like 10.
Yeah. And then the items I less had questions about were just another bundle of 20 arrows, 50 feet of rope, fishing tackle, and manacles. Which
Are you
totals 5
selling?
gold.
Are you selling the manacles?
Buying? Those are
Buying
the
manacles.
you buy.
Oh yes, for those things, easily enough. You might have had manacles. You could probably find out here. Some of the other stuff you'd have had to have bought like around Saltmarsh. The guys that are here are pretty specifically like weapons. They're armorers.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
before we spent like
Absolutely.
30 minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
role-playing
I
shopping.
definitely-
I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, the simple stuff that's really simple things, we're just gonna kind of general price it. So
Fine.
yes, you can get those things for those 5 gold. Is there any other baseline shopping any of you would like to do? Just
Parchment.
general goods.
And ink.
Parchment. I do believe I looked that up, and I believe the parchment. If you're wanting, so how much parchment are you trying to get? Just ballpark.
Probably like 25, 30 sheets maybe.
25, 30 sheets. So 30 sheets would come out to 3 gold. A parchment and
Alrighty.
ink.
Paper cheap, dog.
Apparently, it's only 1 silver a page. So, granted, 3 gold's a lot of money for most people. So,
That's what I
30
said.
sheets.
Paper ain't cheap.
Yeah, paper ain't cheap. So 1 ounce bottle is about 10 gold pieces. So if you're just wanting to get one, yeah.
Well, I can see why a lot of Saltmarsh people are illiterate. I'd be illiterate for that.
Alright.
It's honestly it's one of those things that this is like you had to go to like the fancy people store. They sell like
right,
fancier clothes
We
as
got,
well
like,
as like
drugstore
other high end
prices.
things. Yeah, like these guys like some of the only people that buy anything from this guy are like the Owlins and the Solmores and like Gellin Primwater, like the wealthier
Gotcha,
people in
gotcha.
town, the merchants, that kind of thing.
So 13 gold total, I'm good to go.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Anything for Gloober Jakob that y'all would like to buy that is ordinary?
If I could send you something over break.
Sure, we can do that.
Yeah,
Jakob?
I'll just do the same.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, since it is 9:05, I know we started a little late, but just to kind of keep our same general pace, we'll just go ahead and grab our break now. Get whatever last little bit of mundane shopping out of the way that you guys want to do, and then we'll hop right back into it with some magic items and whatever y'all happen to do next. So everybody on the stream, thank y'all for joining us here tonight. I am enjoying this session so far. I hope everybody else is too. But yeah, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Also remember, open your hearts and your wallets to Extra Life. It's a very good cause, helping those kids out across continental North America. Very worthwhile cause. But we'll be back hopefully here in about 10 to 15. We'll try to keep it short.
Yeah.
Bye. And we're back.
Hello.
Hello. We return once again in the same night with the same folks. We're vibing. Anywho, so I have nothing new to say that it hasn't been said already. We're happy to be here. We got stuff to do, things to see. Saltmarsh is in the midst of some bullshit. Let's get to it. After we finish up some shopping. So I know you gentlemen, we did a little bit of more money spending. Julian has upgraded himself to a half plate, which I think we saw on screen. Gloob now I keep forgetting which hand to use.
Wrestling.
Gloob has gotten himself some studded leather armor. Bart has gotten himself some half half plate, and Jakob did not. So some money has been spent, and we're hopping right back into it. I believe Gloob, you expressed some interest in making a trip to the rich people tailor that is in town.
This is correct. I'll hop in there. Not literally. I realize me being a frog has some connotations when I say hop in there. I will walk. And as I make my way into there, I am going to request
Yes.
Can y'all do custom stuff?
I believe so. We do, yes, occasionally for those who of the more wealthy variety who can afford to do so, yes.
Well, since you do it for the wealthy variety, I would like to commission something, please.
I'll have you know that our commissions start at a base price of 50 gold pieces.
I don't think that will be a problem.
You will understand if I would.
Are we
I
all
must
together?
see
when
so.
we're
I would
shopping?
imagine that this is occurring when you and you went in to buy your parchment and ink and stuff, and Julian came in to buy his brandy, and Gloob just had a epiphany. He's, ah! You will understand if I ask for you to see the coin up front, just to be sure.
Oh, yes, I completely understand. Let me just count. Fucking dump the bag of gold on the fucking thing. Let me just count it out for you.
Eyebrows just shoot up.
Julian is
Oh.
making just like super intense eye contact with Bart as he tries with every fiber of his being not to laugh at this whole exchange.
Very well.
I was gonna say something until she was like, "Oh, you understand? I'm going to have to see."
What is it that you would like to commission?
Wow.
I would imagine clothes. Just a guess.
Indeed, what style of clothes?
Luke is going
Cut,
to
shape, cloth type.
Well, I was wondering when you were going to let me talk. However, Gloob is going to reach into his backpack, not the bag of holding, and pull out an old, tattered-looking book, and flip it around to her and show her the cover, which on the cover of it has a very, very stereotypical-looking pirate in just over billowy clothes, a tri-corner hat, and an eye patch. Like very billowy legs and all, and very fine boots that are pretty high up on the shins, and it's sort of embossed in like red and gold.
Very well.
Not my size.
I figured. If you would step over here for me, take your measurement so that it is your size. She pulls out like a string.
And I am not gonna warn her about my skin, as I take off my studded leather and just hold my arms out.
Oh dear God. Okay, hold on a second. Because unfortunately, I think a lot of the time they don't touch you, but they do eventually touch you.
Silence is the greatest weapon.
Should just feel kind of sick. It's not gonna do
Yeah,
anything.
it'll just poison. It'll just poison her. +0. Let's see if we can beat the DC 13. Almost did. Wow. Well, just a straight roll. Like at one point as she's going around and just wrapping her string around you, like her hand does make contact with your skin. And for a moment, she just kind of eyebrows furrowed.
Now hurry up there. I am very busy.
Pulls back after kind of just shaking her. I'm sure you are. And finishes taking her measurements. And it just seems like takes extra care not to touch you after a couple times, because as I believe the contact, it doesn't poison them for a long period of time. It's just as long as they're in contact with you. So just kind of after doing that a couple times, just goes around and finishes taking your measurements. Well, understand. Would you like to leave this book with me as a reference, or?
No, I would not.
Very well. I will take some notes on it, sketch it real quick. You understand? And takes out like a sketch pad, like a big piece of paper, and starts writing some stuff. Looks like colors and just materials that she's gonna need to create the ensemble, and then kind of does like a sketch of each piece of it, like on separate pieces of paper. Seems pretty good at it. Like seems to look just about almost exactly what's on the book itself. She works hard for her money, but and then
we'll inspect it. Will,
oh
like,
yeah.
I will
After
ask
you,
to see it after the fact, like once she's drawn it.
Sure. And flips it around for you. Just kind of look through the pages, like each like one page, tri-corner hat from like what looks like a couple different angles. Next page, coat. Next page, shirt and pants. Next page, boots. Now, as this is a bit of a larger order, as is the entire outfit, and with the times as they are, I'd say give me.
Oh, it's a
week
war.
or
You're
so.
not busy. Don't give me with the time.
I'm not saying that it is. I am busy with orders, but more in the acquiring of materials. People aren't quite as willing to go to and from for textiles, and the wealthy still commission, even in wartime. They like to look their best. So, should be about a week.
I can do this.
For all told, for the entire outfit, we'll say 75 gold pieces.
Okay. So another 25 when I come to pick it up.
Very well.
Okay. Deal.
Wonderful.
Deal.
Takes her the 50 gold pieces from you. Takes the, like, tears out the pages that have, the stuff for yours and, like, shuffles those off to, like, their own little, like, folder. Like, and this is for Wednesday. This is for Tuesday. Different projects. Very, very, like, fastidious looking lady. Yeah. You now have a pirate outfit commissioned, Kloob.
Nice.
In frog sizes.
Sitting
Excellent.
there, watching this whole exchange, lean over to Bart.
She's kind of a bitch, but I'd probably get some threads too if I didn't spend so much time in the water.
I look good, whatever I'm wearing.
Confidence.
You guys done shopping?
Yeah, I just needed to get some paper.
I wonder what Jakob's been doing.
Probably.
As we shift scenes. Yeah, just fucking just the whole Batman, like, just imagine, like,
Oh,
with the Hard
God.
Knock Dice logo just going in and coming back out.
A plus. A plus.
I gotta create that as a transition. Just like, not even to change scenes, just for it to pop up on the screen as we change scenes. But anywho, yeah, Jakob. So these gentlemen have been doing their shopping and leaving you to spend time with your daughter. What you been doing?
Mostly just talking to her. Oh, sweetheart. Where do you go?
Yes.
I don't always see you.
I don't know. I just kind of feel a little tired sometimes, and then I'm somewhere different wherever you are when I know it. I don't know.
Well, do you feel tired now?
Not. I don't know. Not really.
Okay. Well, I should probably tell your mother about this.
Oh,
She'll want to know. She'll want to hear your voice.
just kind of frowns. Oh, I miss Mama. I haven't talked to anybody in so long.
Well, I'll make sure that you're able
Lip
to talk
starts
to anyone.
quivering.
That's all right. You're gonna make so many new friends now. Meet so many new people.
Okay.
If you want to.
Sure. If you like them, Papa.
Of course. Oh,
Just kind of wringing her little ghosty hands, kind of fiddling like with the front of her dress.
well, I imagine you've probably seen some of the things that have gone on, at least these last couple of months. Should probably talk to you about those.
It's kind of hard to see. Does it? It's not like it's not all there. It except for you today.
Okay.
And like now.
Well, can you see clearly now? Can you see things around us?
Just kind of. I turn my head, but she just kind of spins. Not really. Just like it's all like really blurry.
Okay. Well, I don't know, really what to say. Just, whatever I do, it's, because the men are bad that I've run into. And I bring them to justice. I'm like a guardsman.
Oh, okay. So you put the bad men in jail?
most of the time, I do.
Oh.
Some bad men are less cooperative, and
I don't know what that means.
well, they try to hurt me, and they hurt other people, and I make sure that they don't do that anymore.
Well, that's good.
I agree.
Just kind of like nodding, like, okay.
Well, I'm just so happy to be able to hear your voice again, Sin, and uh, I'm sure your mom, wherever she is, she'll be glad to hear you too, and know that you're
Me
there.
too. I've missed you, Papa.
I missed you, my sweet girl.
Just kind of drifts down. It's like, oh, ghostly hug.
Oh,
Kind of like, doing like when she did, she was like, kind of like clutching onto your leg.
don't think. We're in Saltmarsh now. It's kind of, it's like Seedon, except a little bit farther
Hers is a
away.
lot littler.
and littler.
Just looks around. It looks okay to me.
It is a very nice town, and the people that run it are very nice. And yeah, I think sorry, my mind just
You're
kind
fine, man.
of froze.
You're good.
I'm sorry, Sin, for what happened. I'm sorry I couldn't stop you from dying.
It's like as you kind of keep talking, kind of for as direct as her gaze has been so far for a ghost, kind of glazes over and seems to be kind of 1,000 yards staring and starts hyperventilating again.
It's okay, sweetheart. I'm. It's all right. Everything's okay.
It just kind of looks down at herself, like seemed to kind of touching one of the blood stains, and just vanishes.
Sin? Sin? No. I drop back down onto my knees and sobbing, and it's probably gonna take me about like 5 minutes to recompose myself and try to, I guess, find the party.
Okay.
And I'm very noticeably going to be upset when I get there.
Okay. I'm not gonna drag that out. I'd say y'all would find each other fairly quickly after just a little bit of wandering around. Y'all have been kind of going back and forth. The trio of you, pretty distinguishable. So
Yeah.
locates y'all probably around the time that you guys are kind of wrapping up with his clothes order outside the tailor.
Jakob. There you are.
Oh, hey, Gloob.
You okay? How'd it go?
It went all right.
All right.
Well, I mean, she's glad she's able to hear me again. And then I apologized for letting her die, and she got a little upset and vanished.
Well,
So
she's a small girl. She'll come back around. Don't worry about it.
You said
Yeah.
she goes away all the time, right? You said she goes back to the place where the other thing. Gloop just pauses because he doesn't want to say dead in front of Jakob right now.
She's probably just tired. She'll be back in a bit.
yeah, I think you're right.
You said she always goes to the other place, so no biggie. And
Yeah.
you got to talk to her this time.
Yeah. Again, thank you. Thank you all for that.
I mean, we all put in the work for it. Don't just thank us.
That's what a tribe does.
That's right.
Gonna smile, but kind of sad smile. We should probably go. I don't to Captain Zindros. I'm sure she'll be happy to see us again.
I don't know. We've kind of. She might not be. We talked to her a lot today, and sort of while we're on the way over there.
Sure.
Y'all want to go? I guess we probably need to see Firebrand after this.
Right.
I
We'll
guess.
probably need to duck them at some point and find out what the heck's going on. We sent troops up into your neck of the woods, Blue.
You need to talk to that god of yours and tell them to help him if they went up to my parts. But yeah,
Right. Would your folk be? I mean, I don't mean nothing by it, but the type of folk that might help Swag.
I mean, nothing's impossible, but they're not really the type to help anybody but themselves.
All right.
Probably kill them too.
If it came down to that, Glue, I'd hate that. I hate to ask you this, but how would you feel about that? Us potentially killing your tribe or
No,
members of your tribe?
No, I'm saying his people would kill the Sahuagin too.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
okay.
Julian's right. In all likelihood, listen, sea princes are bad, right? You got the kind of idea of what they do. Make them tiny and poisonous. That's what you got. They
All
take
right.
slaves and they kill the rest. I mean, yeah.
Fair enough.
So, anyways, Firebrand, I suppose, and see what's going on. And I mean, I don't know. Do we go to war? Is that what we
Well,
do now?
I don't think we go to war. We're kind of special team. We do the highly valuable negotiation missions or wild ass
Julian's,
suicide missions behind enemy lines or whatever.
Julian kind of snorts and is like, as he's probably been like adjusting straps on his new breastplate this whole time. He's like,
Yeah, negotiation.
Which can I just say that breastplate probably really stands out
oh yeah,
against
it's
the
like a
rest of
brand
your
new
like
breastplate.
weird like raggy attagger.
Yeah, it's probably like
Nice shiny new breastplate.
cringe out of place.
Boom! All this other shit. Sorry. Just felt the
Julian,
need
you want me to
comment.
stab you a couple of times and wear it in for you?
Don't worry. I think it'll get some use.
If we continue on this path, it certainly will.
Oh, you ever need a couple dents hammered out? I do have some blacksmithing skills.
Yeah,
You're
might
muted,
need that
Julian.
from you. Yeah, I might need some of that from you in the future myself.
All right. I'm not sure I can help you out, Gloob, unfortunately. I don't know much about leather.
I'm all taken care of.
All right.
Yeah, you weren't willing to swim about that tailor. Gloom's gonna be looking real nice pretty soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just wait.
Man, you're gonna have to make so many saves to not lose that hat. Like Indiana Jones.
That frown.
Unless you get like a chin strap.
Oh, should I
very
have
tight.
a chin strap for Bart? And I have to go around looking like this?
I kind of figured you had that chin strap was in character. You also
Look at
don't
where
do nearly
Jonesy
as much
spends-
like jumping around as Gloob does. Gloob is a little bit more like footloose and fancy free.
I'm gonna
And
have to
before
get an
Jonesy
enchant.
spends his birthday 20 saving that hat.
You get some Velcro on the side of your head and just it won't go anywhere.
It's not a bad idea.
Just let me get it enchanted.
Hit up the doctor, get Velcro stitch.
Gotta find somebody to enchant it.
A permanent hat.
Yeah, that's got to be like a common enchantment, right? And the hat that
Probably
doesn't
so.
fly off.
You just have to find somebody to do it. That's more the question, is the person to do it for you.
Hell yeah, brother.
But anywho.
Back
Okay.
again, Zindros.
Alright, y'all head back to Zendros. I'm just gonna do that sound every time until I make the transition, and then we'll like actually use it. I'm gonna record myself saying that though for the audio of it. No copyright.
Your favorite customers are back.
Well, hello. I've seen you boys so many times today.
We had to make up for lost time. And I mean, come on, you know you're the prettiest thing in the whole town,
Oh.
so
You flatter me too much. So, I will say that you have been gone for a very long time, and I have all these goods. Some of them I set aside specifically for you. So, have you boys decided on what you would like to purchase?
Julian clicks the drop down menu to look again at what she has.
The what? Oh man.
She just smacks you. Keep your fucking hands to yourself.
What? Just she has monk levels. Make a con save for me. Stunning strike. You are stunned for the next 6 seconds.
Oh god.
Anywho, if you recall, what she currently has in her inventory of like not like her personal inventory, but like her shop's inventory, is she has 2 Spies Murmur, a Cape of the Mountebank, the Ring of Ethereal Vision, a Bag of Bounty, Goggles of a Knight, Eyes of Charming, 6 Common Healing Potions for 60 gold apiece, 1 Greater Healing Potion, and a Potion of Growth. Which I believe
Okay.
there's already quite some discussion on what to buy.
I know we already took out the gold for buying all of the healing potions
And the night vision goggles.
and the night vision goggles.
I am going to buy it
What's
with
their- What's their actual name? I'm sorry. We're calling them night vision
They're
goggles.
the Goggles of Night.
Goggles of night. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so we already got the goggles of night. We
Y'all
set
are
that aside.
currently sitting at 985 for all of the healing potions and the Goggles of Night.
Alright, so you said Cape of the Mountebank, Bag of Bounty, Eyes of Charming, 2 times what?
Spies Murmur. They're the magical
Spies?
walkie-talkies.
Murmur.
You were told that what the effect of what they could do was they allowed any wearer to communicate with another wearer that they knew of within 1 mile of themselves, as well as being able to allow someone else who's wearing them to hear everything you hear for I think like a minute, if I recall.
hour.
For an hour.
Yeah.
There you go. They're
Hey, how
pretty
much
cool.
were those?
For the pair is 1,500 gold pieces.
I'm gonna buy the growth potion with my money.
Sure. Yeah, as long if you know a creature wearing another spy's murmur and that creature's within 1 mile of you, you can communicate telepathically with each other. As a bonus action, you can allow that creature to hear everything you hear for 1 hour, and you can end the effect as a bonus action, and it ends if you are incapacitated.
Julian will go in halvesies with someone for the spy's murmur, since he is most likely one of the two most likely to be going out and doing things.
Sure.
Like scouty stuff.
So Jakob gladly, like, oh, very well, the growth potion for you, and takes your 100 gold, as that is coming out of your pocket. So are y'all wanting to purchase the spy's murmur?
I have 40 gold left, so.
This would probably be coming out of a lot of the pot. Y'all have. And it would drive you so y'all are at 985 for the potions and the goggles. Spy's Murmur would add an additional 1,500 gold, which would bring you up to 2,485 gold pieces.
I will pay for the other one, and to give it to Bart
So
with the note of if you hear oh, that's a little bit too much Bart. If you hear Julian get a little bit heated, you might want to send him a message.
When you go to buy just the one, she's like, well, you do understand this doesn't do very much good for you if you only have the one.
Well, I already said I was going in.
You're gonna go in and buy one? Okay, so
Yeah.
750 gold for each. If y'all are just splitting
Already
it down the
deducted.
middle. So you're still at 985 gold for the potions and the goggles of night.
I appreciate it. That's a mighty fine gesture of you.
Oh, y'all help me with the ring, so it's the least I can do. And this plate. I'm actually being reminded of the ring. I'm actually going to turn to Zindros and extend a hand.
Yes.
Like I'm trying to shake her hand and say, Captain, this is a wonderful ring. I was able to hold my daughter, and thank you for finding it and bringing it to me.
She extends a red tiefling hand, clasps your hand with, well, always a pleasure having a satisfied customer. Just kind of gently shakes your hand before retracting it. So, the potions and the goggles. Yes, no, maybe so.
I think we had said that we were going to take that out of the party fund.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very well.
we already set aside funds.
Yeah.
for that.
Okay, wonderful. Just making sure. Yeah,
yeah,
985 gold pieces.
All right, and then, so, making sure I didn't miss anything. The other options were Cape of the Mountebank, Bag of Bounty, Eyes of Charming.
Correct. And one ring of ethereal vision, which was the other option. You're not going to find it. It's homebrew.
I was typing it into.
Oh,
the
okay.
list.
Just making sure. I thought you were looking up to see what it did.
No, I'm making an inventory for me to look at because
Gotcha.
I'm visually
Gotcha.
oriented.
Yeah, you're good. What that did, just for a refresher, is it was the other option she brought for Jakob that was cheaper. It's still 1,000 gold pieces. And what it does is it allows the wearer to, for up to an hour a day, see into the ethereal plane. And you can kind of like turn that on and off, similar to the Boots of Flying. Refreshes at the dawn of the next day. It does require attunement, as of now.
Eyes of Charming.
The Eyes of Charming.
No, I was saying Eyes of Charming aren't really Julian's speed, so it's more Eyes of scaring the living shit out of people. Maybe he'd go for.
You can ask for custom if you would like. I can see what I find. Of course, I would ask for a bit of a holdover.
Oh, Gloob, is there anything here that catches your eye that we haven't bought?
Not really.
All right.
Of course.
What
If
does
there's
the
any-
cape of the mountebank look like again?
It standard, like it's the bright red with the kind of like blue and silver trim on it, and it's kind of, if you're looking at it real close, like it does give off that, like you see a faint whiff of smoke kind of come across when she has it like laid out on the desk or across her little presentation table.
It looked like it would go well with what I've just commissioned.
Perhaps, considering you had like some gold embossing on yours, like maybe it may look good. It still has like the red, and so maybe the blue and silver like accents wouldn't like clash exactly. I'm not sure how fashion oriented Gloob is. If he's like, oh well, these two colors do not go together.
I'm good.
All right. Then think we'll have to bid you a fair day,
Of course.
Captain Zindros.
And so as you know, I can always acquire items, specific or at least look if you're looking for anything in particular the next time I'm out and about. It's
I
required.
think you have already demonstrated your capability in
Indeed.
finding custom orders.
Gesturing at Yakko.
I do pride myself on satisfying the customer. So, anything anybody would like to put in an order for this time around? Nope.
How much was your javelin that would, I think you had said it shoots
Say
lightning?
javelin of lightning, yes. I unfortunately found a buyer for that while I was out and about this time around, but it can be acquired for about 500 gold pieces if I come across another.
I would be interested in getting that.
I will keep an eye out. So that's not quite so specific, so I won't ask for 50 gold as per usual. Bit more specific, of course. Maybe, but that's a little more general.
Hey, Bart, should we try to buy the same thing we bought at the Snapping Line this morning?
Oh. I would hate to disappoint you. I don't really sell foodstuffs or rooms.
I mean, we could.
How many people are in here other than us and Zindros?
Currently, just you guys. There's not a ton of people that can really afford the things she sells.
That's fair. If we were to give you, wait a minute, just out of character, really quickly.
Yes, sir.
Julian, did Julian already pay her to keep her ear out for the Sea Princess? You paid her for some information,
He
right?
paid her for information in regards to Adeline, Mr. Adeline.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, much like our friends have already sort of commissioned you and
Yeah.
like you to keep your ear out
Oh,
for more information.
information. Yes, I do dabble.
The Sea Princess.
Anything in particular, I can offer you general information right now, but that's not worth charging for.
People in this city that may answer to him, and more information on Farronzal the Butcher specifically.
Information on a man I can do. May take some time, but who knows. Now, rooting out those who may dabble in business with the Sea Princess. Oh. Like I said, I keep my ear to the ground more than search for things specifically. I don't question people, you know.
That's all we're asking.
A little bit of
You don't do
gossip
it.
here and there.
As I'm handing 50 gold over to
Oh.
her and put it in her hand for it. You don't
Yes.
happen to deal with them, do you?
Not that I know of, no.
Insight check.
Roll an inside check.
24.
24?
10.
10. Both 10 and 24. 10. She's so hard to read, Gloob. She's so hard. It's like these more humanoid figures, those that are less froggy in nature,
Frogs croak when they lie. Come on.
You're
Just
working.
croak.
It's you're just having a really hard time. You're still trying to find their tells, man. Like, what is the human or humanoid equivalent of the croak lie? Like, of the lie
Yeah.
croak? Like, you're not sure.
Now every time someone buys the toot with points, he's gonna think they're lying. This person's telling a lie.
I knew it. But with your 24, like, it's her her tone of voice, nothing ever shifts. Like, as far as you can tell, she's being as truthful with you as she always has.
Okay.
So, information on those who may deal with the Sea Princess here in town, and information on Farenzal the Butcher. That's very scary.
And one more name.
Yes.
Kithora. I might be messing that up.
That's correct. Kithora. Kithora.
She's a halfling.
Oh.
Spellcaster.
Okay. Any other details you can give me about either of these individuals?
I will give them a basic description.
Okay.
If I need to roll a check to give them extra details, I assume like a wisdom check.
Sure.
Or 19.
Just kind of like a general like memory thing. Yeah. 19.
Wisdom.
Yeah.
That'd be 24.
24. Easily enough. You're able to give her pretty good details, like the stuff that's real identifying: the tattoos, the missing eye, his weird other eye that doesn't look like it, like a color like you guys have ever seen before. General accoutrement. Well, that is very helpful. The more details, the easier it is to find anybody. So I'll see what I can do. Send out a few birds, a few messages.
She's lying.
That's Jakob. Y'all just hear like a reverberating from Jakob's armor as he's standing there. He's like, oh.
Jakob just knocks over something.
Just smacks over like a giant crystal. Like, oh. Like, yes, very well. I can keep my ear out for around town and send out a few messages. See what I can find about this elf and his halfling friend.
That we most appreciate.
They sound very distinctive.
I actually have another thing to request.
Yes.
I just thought of it. That you had like a bottle that could spew water or like send water out.
Magical jug of some kind just to produce water.
Yeah, I think the last time we were here, you had said you had one of those for sale.
I don't believe I had one the last time I was here, but I'm sure that I can find one. Water's quite useful around these parts, especially on the open sea.
Runabout.
For the jug itself, or for my finder's fee?
Well, you had said it was about 50 for a finder's fee.
About 50 gold, yes, for a retainer.
For the jug itself.
For the jug itself.
I'm looking for something that probably could send it at a reasonable force.
I see. I would say somewhere between the realm of 1,000 to 2,000 gold pieces, perhaps.
Okay.
Depend on the quality of the item and the reputability of the seller.
I think actually I'm gonna have to retract that request.
Oh, you don't have to pay it up front, but the 50 gold, that's all it requires for me to look for it. Maybe you'll have come across some more coin by the time I find it.
All right.
And if not, I'm sure I can find somebody else to buy it, and I'll just keep your 50 gold anyway.
Oh, then I'll give you your 50 gold and
Wonderful.
keep an eye out for that.
Man,
I
sure
will
would be
do
cool
so.
If Julian knew enough about magic items to put in a request.
You can just think of items that do things, and she can look for them. There's no guarantee she'll find it.
Yeah, one of them holy lightsabers I could turn into a warlock weapon.
Hey, what? I must confess, I'm not quite sure what that means. But yes, very well. So a jug that produces water with sufficient amounts of force, as well as some information. You boys
She comes
are
back with a squirt gun.
fine customers. Is there anything else I can do for you? No?
No,
Oh,
you've
okay.
been most helpful today.
I do
Appreciate
my
all you
best.
do for us.
Wonderful. Well,
How do you do it?
how do I do what?
You look different like we do, and you are so smug about it.
I'm not smug. I'm a businesswoman. What do you mean? You've never seen a tiefling before now?
What's that?
This is what I am, dear.
No.
Just we come in all colors.
Me too. Well, not me. We.
Oh, wonderful. Well, while those of my brothers and sisters, they're a little bit more rare around these parts, but elsewhere we proliferate. Not quite so rare in other parts of the world, larger cities. I'm sure some of your friends have seen the like, in Seaton perhaps, or maybe even farther north.
I must confess, I don't believe I've ran into many of your kind, but
You would
sure,
have
sir.
seen some. Like, they're not super common, but you get them every now and then through Seaton. Sailors, sometimes merchants, and others.
Yeah.
Not a ton of them, but you've seen a tiefling before.
then here and there.
All right. Keep your secrets then.
I don't know what secret. I do not know what you mean.
It's all about confidence, Glue. You just gotta walk around like you're absolutely meant to be there. Because here's the simple trick: you're meant to be wherever you are.
He got it in one.
I mean, I wish I was confident enough to talk about proliferating in front of people.
Spend enough time doing the job I do, and you will.
I didn't know that was part of the job.
I was just
Captain
gonna
Zindra,
say,
Sarah, children.
Joey was just like, well,
You understand I deal with all types. They are unsavory in speech and action. It
Brave
takes a
woman.
lot. I have skilled protectors. They keep me safe.
All right, well, we might come back later today. Just be ready.
I shall be. Do not worry.
At least 2 more times.
Though you have bought out a lot of my stock right at this moment, so I might not have anything more for you today unless you change your mind.
I have a feeling that cape's probably not going anywhere.
Oh, you never know.
We're gonna
All the
come
people
back
that are
and
in town.
Anders is gonna have that fucking cloak on.
Why walk when you can teleport?
Oh no! Oh, dude, I
Why?
should have made her fucking. Okay, why walk when you can ride? There are
Random
giant
drow.
bugs flying through the air that you notice. This is now the main form of transportation in this country. But anywho, so you all
Off
have
the
a wonderful day.
Yeah, the firebrand.
Or did we want to go to one of the other ones first? That guy's probably going to be pissed at us because we didn't do what he asked. Just so we're all prepared for that.
Oh, I mean, we can just tell him to talk to, what is his name? The merchant, Vertheg.
Rallian?
You
Rallian.
drowned him. Yeah.
Rally.
I cannot remember that cockweasel's name.
You know, he's just so insignificant, I just can't remember him.
I feel like maybe we should give it a day or two for him. We're probably not on very high on his favorable contacts.
Yeah, no, I was thinking a different council member that could clue us into what was happening, but We can't avoid him forever, I suppose. And he
Well,
can't
I mean,
take all.
if we wanted to talk to someone else, I mean, we could always talk to Alan.
I don't think
Julia
we're.
nods approvingly.
She seems the most level-headed of them all, so.
Level-headed. We didn't end on the best of terms with her either.
That is true.
Yeah, well, at least they knew the stakes.
We're making a lot of friends.
That's what we do.
You just got to keep telling yourself that we probably saved more lives so far than we've gotten lost.
And with any luck, we'll take the ones that matter.
Nope. I'd prefer not to take any if I could help it. But, you know, sometimes we are. So, Alan, wherever she's probably at the moment.
Oh. Yeah, that's a good point. She's probably not at home. We know where to find Firebrand.
Well, we can always pull off the bandage and just go to Firebrand.
Let's do it.
Sure.
Might as well. He's going to be able to give us the most information anyways.
Right.
He's probably already heard about it. Anyways.
Yeah. Hindsight. Yeah. He'll be fine.
All right. Okay. Just making sure. Just making sure. All right. So y'all head over to the guardhouse / jail. You know, all in one. It's got the offices. There's a lot going on in one building, but you know, familiar enough. Guards wave you in as they see you. Just like, yeah, he's been expecting you. Just waves y'all in. Go over to his office, and in sat in a familiar pose is one Eleander Firebrand. Except rather than just kind of leathers, looks a bit more like Jakob, except maybe some pieces are off. Looks like he's in full plate with gauntlets removed and, you know, no helmet. Like gauntlets, pauldrons, and helmet not in evidence. Kind of, you can see him kind of stacked in a corner, like a corner desk.
Plate-ish.
Yeah, alongside a shield and sword that are all kind of like leaned up, like sword belt wrapped around it, just kind of all in one corner. All look well maintained and well used. Y'all walk in, he's just running his hand across his head as he's reading through some papers. Oh, gentlemen, it's been quite a while.
Happened.
There
It was quite a trip.
some
It
concern
didn't-
for your safety.
It didn't so great, but we're back in town now.
I had heard. Just kind of looks around. I see you were either unsuccessful or chose to not take up my offer.
We wanted to, but turns out we had a little bit of information that we needed to get from our acquaintance. Just didn't pan out.
I see. That is unfortunate.
I'm sure if you speak with him about providing assistance to the town of Saltmarsh during this trying time, I'm sure he'd be willing to offer some assistance as well.
Some, yes, but not as much as we could have gotten, but is he neither here nor there.
So what do we missed? I heard y'all sent troops out into the swamps.
Unfortunately, they forced our hand.
The Swahagi?
Yes, they appear to be honing in upon the location of the Lizard Folks clan, their lair. And the Lizard Folk do not have the means to hold them off on their own.
So how many people we got down there?
It depends on the day. We try to not leave people there for as long as possible. Some reinforcements stay with the Lizard Folk, but they can only house so many. But we've unfortunately been forced on the offensive in order to keep them from being overtaken. And the whole marshes are dangerous at the best of times. So, it is a difficult situation we find ourselves in.
Yeah, agreed. You got any problems you need solving?
I believe there are perhaps some that I could have that you all may be able to assist with. Currently, while I respect all of your abilities as warriors, you individually will not make that big of a difference on the front line. Sure, you would kill many Sahuagin, but you can only be in so many places at once and only attack so many people. So that is that is off the table. There are a few things. We need more troops. Always more troops. Anything would help. We have not as of yet had anybody we thought suitable to send up to Burl over by the Silver Stand. The fort that has between themselves, the soldiers of Keeland, and the elves and other druidic creatures that they have. Yes.
Quick out of question.
Sure.
Or out of character question.
Yeah.
Is that a place that we can get there by land?
Yes. Silver Stand is
yes.
inland, directly
yes.
in like if you guys look at your map, it's almost directly north of Saltmarsh.
All right.
It's up there, the Silver Stand Forest, but the fort there that is garrisoned by troops from Keeland as well as elves, some of the native elves, as well as the treants and other druid creatures, druidy plant life that is less violent. They suppress the monsters and cutthroats that wander forth from the Dreadwood.
Yeah. Well, we can go over
Wow.
there and talk to them for you.
Yes. That is one thing that you could do to help. However, I do warn you, the Castellan, the leader of the garrison there. Oh, almost forgot her name, I'm sorry. Oh, good gracious. Oh, that was on a different sheet. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh yeah, the Castellan, Kiara Shadowbreaker. She is a good soldier. She does her job without thought, and very well. But that also means that she is going to be loath to part with any of her troops. That's why we have not sent anybody yet. But do what negotiations you can. Perhaps you can get her to owe you a favor. Assist her in similar ways as you've assisted us, but swiftly. You may be able to earn some good favor, and she may part with some of the troops there. They are skilled, not just and less in the frontline warfare, and more skilled in the going through harsh areas and climates to do battle. Their assistance could be very useful. Now, in addition,
what was her name again?
Kiara Shadowbreaker.
All right.
Now, in addition, the Mariners Guild here, the local Mariners Guild. They are currently the greatest source of militarized vessels that we can make use of to transport soldiers to try to approach the Sahuagin from more than one direction. There's a island a little bit off the coast called Abbey Isle, one point it used to be kept by monks and clerics of more friendly gods. But more recent years, they were overtaken by a cult. We have not yet, as of recently, had the resources to dismantle them. They haven't caused us much trouble, but we also have not needed possession of the island until now. It could be a strategic strong point to launch military vessels as well as to keep watch and see Sahuagin's movement earlier than we might otherwise. It is a
You say
deadly
they got
affair.
a cult of some kind in there.
Correct. Some dark
Could I be-
god,
Be reasoned with at all?
perhaps. I do not know. They have not exactly been forthcoming. They are holed up. I hear it is dangerous to approach at all. I don't know the exact details. You would have to speak to the guild. They would be able to inform you more. If you could remove them peacefully or otherwise, we could move in. Strategic strong point, as well as a place to cast off from.
Alright.
And third, probably the most dangerous, is we have not been able to get any scouts successfully all the way to take a look at where the Sahuagin are based out from. We need to know this if we are to put an end to this conflict. We will need to be able to push through the heart of their lines, or through their lines to the heart of their warfare. If we can force them away from wherever they have based themselves near the land, perhaps they will be dissuaded for a time and retreat back into the sea.
You want us to find out where the Swahagan are at on their water.
Perhaps. Sub-Chief Crashnil has communicated to me that his queen, as well as some of his advisors, suspect that perhaps they have made a new home of their old one. Where they reside currently is not where they have always resided, the lizard folk.
Right.
They had a different home. They were driven out of it. It was large, well fortified, and was close to the sea, in the sea even. They may very well have taken up residence there, as she suspects. If you could get there and determine their defenses, maybe some of their numbers, and find out where we might be able to strategically not just advance, but also some sabotage options, things to bungle up their efforts. I will advise, we have not had any scouts return alive from this same mission. But your help would be appreciated.
It's a lot.
Indeed.
How far of a journey is it to the island with the cult?
The island, perhaps a few hours off the coast. That is by small boat. It's not too terribly far, but its strategic positioning is significant. Quite frankly, it's probably the closest objective for you. But I cannot tell you exactly how dangerous it may be. I can assure you that negotiations with Shadowbreaker themselves will not be perilous, but what you may have to do to get her to commit may be. Scouting of the Sahuagin Fortress most definitely will be. The cult is a bit of an unknown. We do not have any details on them. We just know they are there, and they're not friendly. So.
Understood.
We can be not friendly too.
That is why I suggested this job for you.
Are all of these of equal importance?
It depends. We will need to know the location of the Sahuagin. It is necessary for us to end this. Reinforcements from Burl would be very welcome. It could be very useful. They save many lives. But they, at the same time, while they are absent from their post, some monsters may run rampant if they are not able to keep them contained with their reduced number. The Isle of the Abbey a strategic strong point from which we may be able to prevent more of the Sahuagin from raiding, and we may be able to allow some more of the fishermen to get out and back into work. Putting a stranglehold upon our economy will kill us just as surely as slaughtering our men in battle.
Is the Isle of the Abbey in the same direction as going to the possible base of where the Swahagan are at?
Not quite, kind of parallel. So I'm just gonna he'll explain to you where it is.
Okay.
It'd be kind of directly south off the coast a ways. So
Okay.
y'all, it's where y'all kind of went out and then went away, kind of at an angle. Instead, you'd just be kind of going straight out. So not necessarily any closer, but it's a little farther out into a deeper part of the water. All that fun stuff.
You think we might be able to make a run of taking care of that cult and then continuing on to try to find out that Swahagan later?
You could certainly try. That would be difficult. I don't know how trying these cult members will be in combat, or perhaps they will turn belly up at the first sign of you as you are accomplished, if you are able to intimidate them into leaving, or negotiate with them even. Short-term solution is unfortunately probably one of the best that we have right now. You could, if you made the journey straight out. I do not know if I would recommend approaching by sea. You can try, but that is their realm, and they will probably find you before you find them.
Right.
So, I will not say it's out of the question, and anything that is quick and efficient will be our best chances at survival and saving as many lives as possible, but the risk is higher.
From the edges of the Hull Marsh,
Yes.
about how far is the old lizard men base?
From the edges of the marsh, from what I understand, it's a handful of hours from, not from the layer, the old layer,
Mhm.
the layer they currently reside in, or the one that may be overwhelmed by Sahuagin right now.
The one that might be overwhelmed with Swahagan.
From what we've been told, it's not terribly far. It's not out into the sea. It's a bit off the coast, just enough that a small land bridge is needed to connect it. So, as you know, the marshes end just far enough for there to be what may be considered a beach. It is similar there. So,
Alright.
a few hundred feet perhaps off the shore.
Alright. Well,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bart.
no, you go right ahead.
And just to make sure, you said you don't know much about them, but you just say they're a cult. You have no idea of what.
I'm not certain myself. I know of their existence. I unfortunately have had other matters on my mind.
Anyone around town that might know a little bit more?
As I said, the Mariners Guild themselves, those who are looking to have them cleared out, those who would be manning this outpost, for the most part, aside from our soldiers, they know more of the details. The cult has been a bit of thorn in their side for quite
Who
some
do we
time.
need to talk to in the Mariners Guild?
If you
Anyone specifically?
you should be able to make your way to the guild hall here within town and speak to the guild leader, whose name I'm blanking on. I'm so sorry.
You know, he's an old man. He forgets things.
I mean, he's older. Oh, good gracious. But you go over there, speak to the guild leader, whoever is about, and they could give you perhaps some more details. That's my recommendation.
If we got ship nearby the other Swahagan place, and if we got a boat out to this cult area, would you be able to give us a little bit more of a military vessel? I don't mind helping, but I'm getting a little bit strained on sending sailors out with us and them not coming
Absolutely.
back.
Absolutely. It has been rough here as well.
Yeah, I didn't mean no disrespect.
No. I don't think it's been an easy time for anybody. I heard tell of Captain Windrune's losses. My condolences.
Yep.
You speak to the Mariners Guild. See what they can tell you. It will probably be one of their vessels. But once they transport you, I will see what I can scrounge up that can be sent to guard the vessel and keep such unfortunate things from happening.
All right. So, fellas, what are you thinking about doing?
Let's take the night, talk about it, and talk about a plan for each, and then we'll let you know first thing in the morning, Captain.
Very well. As I said, I know that any of these tasks are quite dangerous all within their own right. Choose wisely and choose carefully.
You have a map?
Of course. He just kind of moves some stuff over, and he does have a map.
You have some, I don't know, like charcoal or something to mark on it, on his desk?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, he's got pens and all kinds of crap.
Okay. I'll take a pen or something like that on his map and just sort of border where Gloob's tribe sort of treats as their lands and their hunting grounds, and I'll just mark that off on the map. Avoid there. Don't let your men walk in there.
He looks
You're
at
gonna
that
call-
and just kind of tilts his head like things like, do you know something about this that I do not? People have gone missing in those areas of the whole marshes, those desperate or foolish enough to enter.
Don't go in there.
Very well. Thankfully that is far enough inland that we shouldn't have to be in too large of a threat of Sahuagin advancing through that. So, aside from keeping a general watch on the edge of the marshes, we are doing our best not to enter if we can. But I will make sure that they are aware. Very well.
All right.
Good luck, gentlemen.
I appreciate your time. Letting us see towards what we can do.
Captain,
Yes.
is that ship still at the docks? The one
Which-
that the smugglers were using?
The Sea Ghost, yes.
Is it all right if we use that kind of as a launching point?
It's a fairly sizable vessel, as long as you're not meaning to engage in any ship-to-ship combat, which you shouldn't with the Sahuagin. It should serve.
All right.
I'm sure the Mariners Guild will be happy to not have another one of their vessels being taken on an outing at this time.
Thank you, sir. We'll be
Of
off.
course.
Let's go talk to them before it gets too late and before we pull up for the night. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
As y'all leave, just Eleander just sinks back into his chair, just
All right. You may want to give him some of that pipe weed that you smoke.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe so. I'll open up my the side herb pouch in my handy spice sack and just give him a little folded paper pouch of it.
he just
Put it right
holds
there.
it. Thank you, but no. I need to be
Right back.
I have to be able to focus. Thank you. I'm just tired.
All right. Well,
Julian, Jakob, do y'all know where the Mariners Guild is?
Julian, you would know where the Mariners Guild is.
About to say, would Julian know?
Yeah, you would know.
Right this way.
It's kind of like near the docks, kind of near where some of the what's the word I'm like kind of the warehouses are. There's not a bunch of very big ones, but kind of where that storage is on like not quite the nicer area, but kind of bordering where some of the scummier places, like, there's like a really shitty bar that the drunks and the like go, and that's on like the shitty end, and then you have the richer end where you have the warehouses of the more wealthy merchants and fishing families and merchant families, and then kind of in the middle, Mariners Guild. So
All right.
I direct us there.
Yeah. Easily enough, y'all make your way over there. It's not exactly bustling with business. You do see a couple kind of gentlemen going in and out of swarthy sailory build. Swarthy sailory build, as well as what looks like a couple of runners taking messages. And y'all enter, and there's like a receptionist kind of deal, like, oh, yes, what can I do for all of you?
Heard you had a cult problem. We're here to inquire about the details of said island expedition.
That is a job that we have been advertising for quite some time. Yes.
We're here for the details. Might be able to help you out.
Very well. If you will go down, he just kind of directs you down the hall, and you will find the office of Major Ursa. He is the man you want to speak to.
All right,
believe he has company right now on the same matter, but I'm sure he won't mind.
All right.
We're kind of walking down the hallway. I want to talk to Bart real quick. Like, what makes your cult different from theirs?
What they believe in. It's all a matter of perspective. I mean, I kind of believe in really being nice to others, trying to be respectful, being welcoming to others, that kind of thing. They might be, like we saw on that boat out in the water, people just really like spiders and killing and all sorts of other nasty stuff.
Oh, hell, I hope not.
Right. I don't like spiders. I hate them little fuckers.
Yeah, we should talk about that too. You beat the hell out of the boat, by the way. Like, there was a lot of knocking. I know you got like the whole doorknob thing going on, but you were a door knocker right there. Just knocked a whole hell of a lot of holes in the boat.
Well, it's got a lot bigger holes in it now, so I don't see how it's an issue.
That's true.
I don't think in the long run, I don't think it was me who sunk it too.
The world may never know.
Retcon, it was giant door handles that were slamming into the boat.
The Kraken heard me knocking and came up to see what was going on. It was totally my fault. Shit, guys. I apologize.
You did the secret Kraken knock.
It's like shaving a haircut, but for Krakens.
Yeah, shaving a haircut, tentacle.
Oh, dear God. Okay. But y'all are taking on back. Kind of, as y'all are approaching an open door that, you can only imagine is Major Ursa. You just hear a burly voice just kind of like, I'm not going to let you go there alone. It is a death sentence. I do not care who you are or how capable you are. I will have you understand, sir. I have traveled the width and breadth of this country slaughtering their kind, and I will not be stopped in this shithole from continuing to do the same. As y'all finish approaching in this office area, you see kind of behind, not exactly behind his desk, he's currently kind of standing with an elbow on it and his hands up, like he's just really trying to get his point across to someone. A dwarf. It's crazy how many of those y'all are seeing recently. It had what was once bright red hair and beard, just braided and then kind of, God damn it, like gathered together down at the bottom, coming down to about his belly with just streaks of white going through it. His hair similar, just pulled back in kind of a, not with as many braids, but still with the white streaks kind of going throughout. Definitely used to be a glorious fiery red at probably a younger point in his life, but still a well tanned face, smile lines, dressed rather simply in just a functional cloth breeches and shirt and all that fun stuff and boots. And he's sitting there, so like going into there, but oh god, Russian, going there by yourself is a death sentence. It does not matter. I'm not going to send anybody off to their deaths for no reason. You will not clear it out on your own. And standing across from him, the person who he's having this argument with, and is what you see is a no, not Ned. It was definitely a woman's voice. It was definitely a woman's voice coming out of
That
the.
was exactly the same thing.
God, I
thinking,
hate
too.
y'all.
I was like, it's fucking Ned.
But standing across from him, you'll see probably a average height woman. You know, I won't say slender, because this is a solidly built woman. She's like not like super like buff, but clearly well muscled and like athletic in build. Has her good gracious, appears to be a little older actually. Like you got kind of not from the tone and just evenness of her voice, seemed to be just a very firm in tone. But wrinkles at the corners of her eyes as well as at her mouth, with her just dark brown hair pulled back into a tight bun. Similarly, not quite as heavily, but streaked with gray throughout, with just bright, sharp blue eyes centered, just staring into this dwarf's soul, just about her mouth set in a firm line. And she is accompanied by, she's wearing what appears to be similar to what you just purchased, but before it was made to fit a frog, stuttered leather armor. Except this appears to be it's plain brown, but it's scuffed, and you can see in quite a few places where it's been mended, maybe even multiple times. And even more noticeable, especially to you, Bart, as you're a godly man, is there are what you can only figure are religious symbols from different gods, some of them sewn into the leather itself, and in other places it looks like it has been branded into the leather and just kind of adorning her armor, just piecemeal all over the place, kind of focused in the torso area, but you see a couple that are on like the van braces and like one on the back of the gauntlet of her left hand. Speaking of her hand, there's a gauntlet, leather, and van braces going down her left, but on her right arm, the armor stops at about just below the elbow, and from the elbow down, her arm is unarmored, but covered in several places by bandages. Around her belt, you can see a couple of other holy symbols, but like on strings, as if for easy removal to be held rather than just adorned on her armor itself. Several of those, as well as a string of small, maybe knuckle bones, you're not quite sure, that appear to have runes etched into them and burned. And several other just pouches and other such accoutrements just hanging about her belt, like some stains, like maybe some powders maybe that may be in there, you're not quite sure. Good gracious. On her left hip, you see a long, straight sword, not quite a rapier like you wield, but definitely not as broad as not as wide as a long sword. If anybody knows what it is, it resembles an estoc, which is a piercing weapon, but a little more hefty than a rapier. On her right hip, there you do see one knife, as well as on kind of the breast part of it, like on this collarbone area of her chest piece, another knife. Cody, you know what I'm talking about. Like the tactical position knives that are kind of up, like hilt down. On her, you can see a wooden leather buckler that seems to be hanging from some kind of strap or something along, like on her lower back, as well as some arrows sticking out from underneath that. You can see a pack and which appears to have a short bow strapped to it, as well as some other various and sundry goods, as she is standing there. Still, well, not super tall, still a good height over the dwarf. and seems very insistent. She's arguing. I have faced worse odds and come out on top. I insist that you tell me where it is and take me there, and I will handle the undead myself. Is about at that point as y'all enter the room.
I'm dead.
Glance over her shoulder. Oh, hello? Hello. Yeah. Shrek! Ah, hello. Ah, yes.
My court.
Undead. Yes, undead. There is a bit of an undead problem over on the Isle, and that we have advertised for quite some time, and we do need it done. But I'm not sending any individual off on a suicide mission.
You should fire your marketing team because we haven't seen a lick of it.
Right.
that's
We
not
just
here.
got word from Firebrand himself. He said you might need some help with a cult. Is it an undead
Yeah.
cult?
There is a cult. Yes. They're not a cult of undead. But necromancy is involved. They have undead largely defending the island. It's part of why we haven't been able to get anybody on there to clear them out. And Miss Conley here is insisting upon going herself, which I will not allow. Do the group of you happen to be interested in clearing it out? You said you heard from Firebrand. I know he has
Right,
recently become interested in ensuring somebody does this job.
Right.
Understandable considering circumstances, but still.
Absolutely. We were definitely interested in taking care of this job for you. We wanted to know a little bit of details first. Obviously, there's payment. There's how many undead you think might be on there. What type of travel can you give? What kind of support we're looking at? All the little things.
And what cult is on the island?
I couldn't tell you for sure. I just know that they've caused me a lot of trouble over the years. I say a lot of trouble. More in that we can't put anything on it. Would be a good spot for a lighthouse, as well as a place to launch ships from. This of the smaller variety for the most part, but it would do. Can't really do that when there are undead defending the place.
It's fair.
The woman just speaks up. Now you see, there are more coming. If you intend to undertake this venture, I will accompany you. I do not care what you say. I will be there, and I will slay these undead. If numbers is what you require, then I will go with them. If 4 is enough. She's kind of like looking at the dwarf. A total of 5 is a damn sight better than 1 by himself, so it is up to you and these gentlemen. Very well.
Do you specialize in killing undead?
Just looks at you. Yes.
He kind of gestures at her while looking over at his compatriots.
What'd you do to your hand there? Looks a little. You got it wrapped up.
Also, I'm so sorry. I flipped her stuff because I'm used to being right-handed. Sword is on the right hip. Knife is on the left. Right hand is bandaged. Left hand is not. Sorry. I just realized I did that. That is of no concern.
I just give her a shake like, are you kidding me?
Injuries are part of the job. I can function
Right.
just fine.
Or they can function better if you tell me what's wrong and I fix it for you lickety split.
She just flexes her hand at you.
Oh yeah.
It is functioning just fine.
This is my hand that I just keep in a bandage for no particularly good reason. It's a new fashion statement, I imagine. Listen, we're going to be a team here. Why don't you just help me out with a little bit of trust? I can help you, you can help us, and it'll be easy sailing.
Well, Bart, she might have like a tiny little frog hand or something under
It's
there.
not like completely bandaged up. There are bandages wrapped in places.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
it's not like
I
completely
thought you
wrapped.
had like an injured.
No,
an
like
injured
it's
hand.
there.
Okay.
There's bandages wrapped in a
Okay,
couple places on her
sorry.
forearm and as well as her hand. Like there's
Okay.
plenty of skin still visible.
Gotcha.
She's got a frog hand under there. You can't convince me otherwise.
She got a frog
It's a skelly hand. She's turning into an
Oh
undead.
my god.
Oh no.
But yes, I specialize in killing undead.
All right. Well, it sounds like that'll be a great service in this kind of situation.
Wonderful.
Does she have? You said she's adorned in like a bunch of different
Yeah.
religious iconography. Does she have any icons of Heronius?
I will say that with no checks needed, both you and Bart recognize symbols of Heronius and Sorolity.
Hey.
All right.
Among quite a few others.
Right.
Really
Well,
know which cult is she in?
I am in no cult.
It's not really polite to say that people are part of cults. Generally, cults kind of has like a negative connotation.
Indeed.
Religion or belief or worship.
Okay.
Better
Gotcha.
terms.
We're gonna go fight the religion on the island.
Those are indeed a cult.
Opinions are opinions.
Those who tend to be of the more unsavory variety, especially necromantic, tend to be determined to be cults. Now, if you are satisfied, when may we leave?
Well, we're just gonna go over a few details, but I don't see why we couldn't leave sometime soon. Maybe tomorrow, maybe in the morning. Heck, I don't know.
Wonderful.
We were gonna sit and plan.
Right, we were
So-
gonna talk about it first. That's a big maybe.
If you'd like to sit down and have dinner with us at the Snap
That
Line.
is acceptable.
All right.
Sound like a real great dinner guest.
Uh-oh.
Whoop.
Oh, we lost Julian.
It would seem that way. Well, regardless, as you've currently said, you'll be traveling to the Isle, clearing it out of the cultists however you see fit. And then we, of course, will move in and do what we can to... oh, god damn it! And do what we can, to not only further the war effort, but also help the people
that was
themselves.
the default when I logged in.
So, Shrek.
Oh boy.
I can give you a little bit of God fucking damn it. I don't know why I'm now struggling so much with the Scottish.
It's 11 o'clock. You're in the home stretch.
I
Just
know,
a
I
little
know.
bit more.
I know. Sorry, I promise we are wrapping up, everybody. There's a little bit of there's a little bit of information that I can give you guys. God damn it.
He's turning into an undead. Go.
Ah! He turns into a frog. Surprise.
He was croaking, not sputtering.
And what it boils down to is there's not many places that are safe to come aboard. I say come aboard, to get ashore. There's a area at one end of the island known as the Skull Dunes. There are undead that lurk among the sands. You have to be cautious. Presumably there is some way to get through it. I couldn't claim to know how. Determine that as you can. But climbing up the cliffs elsewhere on the island, equally perilous. You fall, paralyzed and drown, or die outright from falling on the rocks. You're welcome to try if you can. All I can do is give advice.
The island doesn't have a dock.
Maybe at one point.
Oh, that's lovely.
Haven't been over there much recently, but it looked like there were some sails that didn't belong to anybody friendly that were heading over there in recent times. The dock, unfortunately, is by the Skull Dunes. So, do with that
sounds
information
charming.
what you will. I hear it's absolutely lovely. Now,
You have good coffee there.
goddamn,
Well, I had a.
A live band on the weekends.
Well, I had those technical issues. Did he go over the nature of the undead?
We haven't seen much beyond what lies at the Skull Dunes. We don't... Too many men, too dangerous to push in too far. That's why we try to get adventurers such as yourselves to do the job.
I was asking out
I
of
know.
character.
It hasn't been asked. So
Okay.
I'm just going ahead and telling you. Like I said, there's skeletons, maybe some zombies that inhabit the Skull Dunes. I couldn't tell you how many more of those, or what might be more powerful that lies further in. The abbey itself, couldn't tell you that either. They get supplies somehow, maybe through the pirates. Or smugglers even. Don't know. Couldn't tell you the manpower or the abilities of those therein. Not a ton to go on, but expect necromancy.
Right. What about the pay?
Pay. Let me see what... I know we had been offering this job for quite a while, but we've had to hike up the price.
Going rate at the moment's about 10,000 gold. No.
It will not be 10,000 gold. With the assistance of the crown, we've been able to up the price to 2,000 gold pieces for this job in particular. Couldn't have afforded that much previously, but they need it done. So, it's acceptable.
I assume that's 1,000 for us, or 800 for us, and 200 for my lady here.
2,000 gold. Split as you will. I do not care.
All right.
Well, it sounds like she just wants to go do it. So that's 2,000 between the four of us.
She just kind of like head slowly turns. Well, I wish to slaughter the undead. What did you just say, Jakob?
Sorry, I stopped. She's a woman of a very pious woman, as you can see with all of these religious iconographies on here.
Face does not shift, not at an inch.
That was a terrible place to stop in that sentence.
It was. That's why I was like, uh-oh. Y'all ready to watch Jakob get his ass kicked?
Far wench.
But
I think maybe we split the pay evenly.
I agree.
Yeah.
While I do wish to kill the undead, my journeys require funding. So,
as all journeys do.
This is a very beggar-chooser situation right here. I don't...
Why do you think it's taken so long for us to get anybody to do it?
Let's be fair. It'll be fine.
Look, I know why Fatterbrand sent you here, and I agree. It's a shitty situation. But at the same time, if he sent you, that means he feels like you can do it.
Right.
I imagine you're not just run-of-the-mill soldiers.
Right. Well, we're trying to assess the situation because, as I'm sure you know, Saltmarsh is not lacking in the shitty situation department.
I am very aware.
So we were trying to, my thought, was that we go do this job and move on to another job before coming back to Saltmarsh. So, yeah, we're just trying to get things squared away. We can talk about it, get back to you.
Understandable. You've heard the deal. I've given you about as much of the information as I can about the island itself and the contents that are in. You'll take your new companion and discuss it amongst yourselves. I'm sure you'll be able to hammer out a wonderful plan. If there's anything else I can help you with, do not hesitate to ask.
I appreciate your time.
All right, Miss Connolly. Miss Connolly, that was it?
Conley.
Conley. Let's go get some dinner.
Sure. Y'all troop off to eat dinner. And I believe, as y'all make your way to dinner with your mysterious companion whose desire to murder undead is strong, or re-murder undead is strong, I believe that's what we're going to call it for the evening. So,
nice. Hell
Thank
yeah.
you, everybody, for coming tonight. I'm so glad those both who came to play and those who came to view. It was a fun time all around. Y'all got some stuff. Y'all have some new objectives in your
Yeah.
sights, and a new person to get to know, or not. Who knows? Maybe she'll die. It's a mystery. But anywho, thank you so much, guys, for coming to play. Thank you guys so much for coming to watch. Remember to, if you feel like it, open your hearts and your wallets to Extra Life. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful cause, and they do a lot of good. And before we get out of here, I am going to hop us into a raid if I can go to the correct page on Twitch.
Yeah.
So, what we're going to do here is we're going to raid somebody else that's here, in the wonderful TTRPG community. Give them some love because everybody works really hard and makes good content. So, we're going to hop in here to TPK Roleplay and tell them we all said hi as we get ready for this 10-second countdown. Everybody, y'all, I hope everybody has a wonderful night. And, come see us again on Wednesday for some relaxed stuff. And then Saturday for our Eberron campaign. Done by, I think you're this direction for me right now, Gloob. That campaign DM'd by him, with some of us in it as well. It'll be a good time. There's not been any source of stress from that campaign at all recently. But until then, I'll talk to y'all later. Everybody have a good night. Bye!
Goodbye.